Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle in California, in a city called Fresno. Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. Sitting to the right of me, Mr. Alan Thomas, the co-host.
Hi everyone. Hey everyone in chat and around the world. Yeah.
And seated at the corner, back corner, all tied up in the dark corner with the cockroaches and the rats in the cell.
In with the popsicles.
Don't even want to go there.
That's no.
Emerald Bonilla is with us again. Finally,
Hi.
Yes.
Yay.
Thank you for showing up wherever you may be. I hope this is, if this is your first time, I hope it's not going to be your last, as you're in for a good show tonight. I am so freaking excited. It's not even funny. You know, we talk about all kinds of stuff here, and we're going to get into it later on. But anyways, but hello. Okay, if am I overmodulated?
No, actually, somebody said turn it up.
Turn it
was Sock Monkey.
Turn it up.
My audio is so loud that the goats are listening.
So it's too loud.
So some is saying it's loud, and some are saying it's not.
Okay. Well, all right. So, okay. Well, if you're listening to us right now at on the live stream or watching us on live stream, well, actually, you're looking at us right now, and I'm so sorry for that. But there's another way that you can actually listen to us, and that is at the Dark Matter Network at the artbell.com website. Yeah, you heard me right. Art Bell is broadcasting us live via Skype HD, quality digital, worldwide to millions of listeners everywhere. And we appreciate that tremendously, because now we are like dominating the airwaves on the Dark Matter Network. I think it's probably coming off of that, isn't it? So I appreciate the artbell.com carrying our show live on their side, and again, live stream is also carrying our show. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff tonight, and we're going to be showing some photographs on our end. We have the Squatch Report. At the beginning of every show, we talk to Danny Valderrama, our Bigfoot reporter, and he sent us over some photographs, and we did the same to the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com, and they have them right now on the homepage, and you can go over there and look at those photographs as we are talking about them here, and that way you guys will not get left out, and you guys will be in there with us. So yeah, we're trying to get some volumes going here, and I'm pretty sure everything should be fine. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get into it. We got a big show tonight. As if you guys don't know, if you guys don't follow us on Facebook, this past Thursday, we were invited to go to the Turi Reservation and to a special place. And
it was special.
Very special, very fun. Purchased a digital recorder especially for this event. We were the only two invited because it's the first time they let anybody of our magnitude up in this area, and we were honored. And this is this place where they say there's Bigfoots, walking around and yelling and stuff. And guess what? We heard them, and we got them on audio, and we're going to play that for you guys tonight. And we're also going to have a representative from the Turi Reservation. Her name is Christina. We're going to get her on as well after Danny. So I got to get you the phone number, Emerald, and I'm going to get that to him.
Hi, Christina. I know you're listening.
And I know she's nervous. Don't be nervous.
Yeah.
Everything's cool. Relax.
And I already told everybody in chat you'll need some headphones.
Yes.
So for everybody that's not in chat, you're going to need some headphones.
Right. So right now, everybody, I would suggest to go out and look for some killer earphones that the ones especially that cover all, the whole ear. So that way, because when we got these recordings of the roars and the screams of Bigfoots, they were at a far distance. All right. So you're going to hear exactly how we heard it, way in the distance, because that's what the digital recorder picked up. It's not like they were like right near the tree line or 50 yards away or 75 yards away. They were in the distance screaming at us because of what we did, and we'll get into that later on when we start talking about all that stuff. But right now
we didn't have time to really load it on the computer and play around in the files like I thought we could, so maybe next week we'll have like an enhanced version.
Right. So right now we're just going to go ahead and get talk to Danny. Emerald's going to get Danny on the line. Sorry, Danny, are you there? Yes, Danny, are you alive? Are you alive?
Danny!
Hello, my friends.
All
How
right.
are you?
I was invited too.
Yeah, you were.
Yes, you are. But
go.
but you are a money-hungry person.
I couldn't play.
Liar. You could have if you wanted to.
But we'll go back again.
You could have called in. You could have called in sick,
Could have.
but you
Take
didn't.
me.
But it was. But
It was awesome. Thank you. Big thank you.
So-
To the
so-
Turi Indian Reservation.
Right. So, yeah, it's very exciting. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to share. Something very exciting also happened at the very end of the trip, just about as we were about to leave. Something happened, and that has to do with Christina, and we're going to talk to her about that. And we're going to blow your socks out of the water, I hope. Last week somebody was on chat saying that we're not investigators because we don't go out in the field. Well, you know what I have to say about that.
Well, my butt still hurts.
Yes, it was an
Man.
hour. It was an hour up. It took us about 45 to an hour to get up there. This dirt road was unbelievable. Christina was crazy woman driver, and
Yep.
she left me in the dust. And I had a 4x4. I'll show you my beast. And she left me in the dust. And I think I have to go in and get my axles realigned because I totally. Matter of fact, the wheel covers on all four of them came loose.
They broke off.
Yeah, that's how bad.
And my butt broke off too, man. I'm gonna tell you.
So, all right, Danny, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, for all those who are listening to us right now on the Dark Matter Network at ourbell.com, at the homepage there is a post marked Paranormal Central Bigfoot Report, and with today's date, and we're going to go ahead and get into it because we have a lot to talk about today. And Danny, we're going to put up photograph number 1, and it is a patch. Go for it. You are a go.
All right. People always ask me or tell me that Jeffrey's full of ideas. So why didn't you think of this one?
I thought you meant full of.
Crap.
I wanted.
What I stepped in? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
okay.
crazy video.
It sure was. I thought I was gonna like go all the way though, like my foot was gonna slip out from under me and my butt was gonna land in that. And
Oh my God.
I was really happy that didn't happen. Real happy. Okay, go ahead, Danny. Sorry about that.
This is from the no problem. This is from the Why Didn't I Think of That files. This is George Coghill. He's from Kent, Ohio, and he started a Kickstarter campaign. And he's a professional artist. His main business is creating cartoon characters and logos for clients. So he decided to make a hairy 8-man patch, and these are perfect for backpacks or sleeping bags or jackets, or even for Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts that have a patch collection, or even Bigfoot enthusiasts who want to collect them all. So he started with a goal, kind of small, $950 for a 30-day campaign, Kickstarter. And what you're seeing there is the Sasquatch Brigade patch. And then picture number 2 is the Sasquatch Brigade membership kit, and it includes the patch, a card, and a button. Now, this was actually his 3rd patch in the series. He did 2 other campaigns at the beginning. One was picture number 3. It's a Bigfoot Patrol patch. That was the very first campaign. And that one didn't do very well. It was unsuccessful. That was back in September. So it never got funded. But, he didn't give up. He started, the next campaign was the picture number 4, the Yeti Squad patch.
The Yeti Squad. Ooh, I want that patch.
That one was successful. That was back in February of this year, February 25th. He had 98 backers for that one, and it was funded at $2,001. So for this one, again, he funded. His goal was $950 for the Sasquatch Brigade, and within the first 18 hours, he made $950. But he still had the 30 days to go, so he let go. And the last day was June 12th. So if you're too late if you wanted to get one of these.
Dang.
But he made his goal in the first 18 hours, as I said, and he kept going. So by the end, on June 12th, he had 443 backers, and he made $12,675.
What? What was he raising money for again?
He's just to get these funded, so he could send them out. All you had to do was donate like $5, and you got the patch. Or you get $10, and you get the kit that I showed you.
Yeah.
The second picture. Or if for $15, you get the patch, the kit, and a certificate of authenticity. It's signed and numbered, collector's item.
It was like $80 shipping and handling, right? No, I'm just kidding.
So it was every $5 you went up, you got something else.
Wow.
And since he raised so much money, $12,675, there was different goals that you have to meet, and if you met those goals, then you would get another free gift.
Wow.
So the next picture is window clings. They're not stickers; they're window clings. Picture number 5 are the window clings from them. So that was like a free gift for pledging so much money.
Right. Well, $12,000. I mean, now you can afford to get anything you want. I mean,
Well,
you
And
can
there's
make.
He still has to
patch,
buy the
too.
patches and stuff. It's expensive to make them.
Yeah, and those are high quality patches too.
Yeah, they're embroidered.
Yeah.
Probably just the fee for the art to make the embroidery thing is like $150.
Yeah.
Before you even make a patch.
Well, $150 compared to $12,000.
Yeah, true. But
That's what I meant.
So
but I mean,
there
he's
was
only
also
charging
another
like
patch that is included.
$5. You know, that patch probably costs almost $5. I like the Yeti one a lot.
Yeah. So when you got to all these goals, there's another actual patch that I didn't include that you get for free too. So if you miss this campaign, I talked to him and he said there are 3 more campaigns coming. So the next one's going to have 3 patches in it, and it's going to be Bigfoot, Nessie, and a UFO.
We gotta get it.
And then after that one, there's going to be a ghost-themed kit.
Oh, never mind. You guys get that one. I want the ghost.
Man, I'm going to have to deck out my leather vest.
Yep.
It's too
And
hot
then
to
after
wear it
that
in the
one-
summer, but, you know.
There's going to be another 3-pack of Bigfoot, and it's going to be the Grassman, the Skunk Ape, and Yowie. So, and he's also talking about Chupacabra on the Mothman too.
I want to
He said he's going to keep going. So get a jacket ready. Get all these patches.
So
Pretty crazy.
each patch that comes out, he's going to do a Kickstarter for it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you can make more money
Right.
that way.
We gotta get a link on our Facebook
So if you miss
page.
the first 3 campaigns and you like Bigfoot Patch, or the Bigfoot Patrol, or the Squad, the Yeti Squad one, you can go to his website, and he's selling those on his website, coghillcartooning.com, and you can purchase those. But you can't get the Sasquatch Brigade one yet because it's currently in production because he just got the funding for it. So that one won't be available till around August. And he does ship internationally, so get to it.
All right. Cool.
So
Man, it would be kind of cooler if he didn't sell them, like, only sold, like, you know, whatever the run was. Because then it would be like you have, like, whatever, you know, you go to the Bigfoot con or whatever they call them, and you got those special patches, you know what I mean, that nobody can get. Only the ones that bought them got them.
Right. Cool. All
Did
right.
they say when he was bringing them back? Like when he was gonna start the next Kickstarter?
No, you just have to go to his page, coghillcartooning.com, and there's a thing there you can subscribe to updates. So when he announces something, you'll know when it starts.
Okay.
Right on.
That's interesting.
Cool. All right. Next one is the next photograph is that one.
House.
Yeah, the house.
All right. This is from the Genesqua Project, Stark County, Ohio, and this happened actually on June 7th. And they got a call from someone who said that he had shot a Bigfoot, who shot at a Bigfoot while it was in his backyard out in the country. They said on the night of June 7th, his wife was sitting, relaxing on the porch there that you can see in the background. He was upstairs watching TV. And then his wife sent him a text message saying that she could hear somebody messing around by the garbage cans on the side of the house, and you can see the garbage cans in the picture there. And he says he usually places a trash tire on top of the trash can lid because there's rodents that try to get in there and get all the trash out. So he came down, he grabbed his .44 gun from the safe, and he loaded it while he was walking down the stairs. And he went to the side of the house, saw the tire that was moved. He knew somebody was around there. Saw the lid on the ground. And then he walked to the rear of the garage, and he heard footsteps walking away. And he also heard grunting, something grunting at him. And then he could see a large silhouette of something there. So he went back up to the front of the house, and he got in his truck because they have a big property. And he drove to the back of the property, and he had to apparently cross a bridge that separates their property. So he drove over that little bridge that has a creek in it. He drove to the back where he heard it going. And when he got there, he flashed his high beams at it, and he could see it standing there in the wooded area. And he described it as a huge, upright, walking creature about 7 feet tall. And he was covered in hair. And when the lights hit it, it took a step. So he jumped out of his truck and he fired at it. He says he thought he hit it in the shoulder.
Ooh.
And they asked him, too, when they got there, did it scream or anything when he shot it? And he said that when he fired his gun, he was pretty close to his car, so it made like a huge bang, and it left it ringing in his ears, so he couldn't hear anything for a while. So he has no idea if it screamed or not. So picture 7 is the footprints, or the trail. They found a trail of smashed vegetation around the area, and they followed it, and they checked the trash can lids in the area around there for hairs or footprints or anything, and they couldn't find anything. And they checked the area where he was standing to see if there was any blood or anything, and they couldn't find any blood because they said it rained that night after he left. But if he did get a good shot at it, there should still be blood there. But they did find some tracks that were 12 inches long, and they were 6 inches at the top and 4 inches at the heel across. But they think maybe he might have actually missed him. He didn't actually hit him in the shoulder because that's what they couldn't find any blood.
Right. Huh.
So about 100 yards back into the forest, they did find 2 more tracks walking away.
So what we're looking at now is the actual footprint then? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
The vegetation that was smashed down, and then picture 8 is a picture of the footprint. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
But you can see that where the bottom hand is, where the thumb
Right.
is on the right, and you can kind of see toes.
Bottom right.
Bottom left. Look to the left of the thumb that's there, and you can kind of see the outline of toes. It's really kind of hard to see. But that's the toes are at the bottom and the heels at the top.
Yeah, I can't see it.
So he said they found about 3 or 4 tracks. All of them were the same size. So pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's hard to see on this one though. I can't.
Yeah,
tell.
it's hard to see on mine too.
Yeah. All right. Right on. So okay, number 9.
It had DNA. Next one is for just in case you don't have anything to get for your father for Father's Day. You got a Bigfoot blanket.
That is actually cool.
This is from themiddleofbeyond.com. and it looks like it's picture 10 shows it on the bed, so it's actually pretty good, pretty big. It looks like maybe a twin or a full size bed. $59.99.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cheap.
And good. You can get us all.
$60. What you're saying? $60?
Yep. $60.
That's freaking
Plus
cheap,
shipping.
dude. Yeah, that's cheap. Wow. Okay.
This collecting Bigfoot stuff's getting expensive, though.
Well, stop doing it. Every time you go out freaking on vacation, you come back with a carload of Bigfoot stuff. I don't know where you get this stuff at.
It's crazy stuff.
I tell you, dude, you got a room? Do you got a room dedicated for Bigfoot?
Not yet, but the kids are moving out.
Oh,
Working on it.
They're moving out and Bigfoot's moving in.
I should have known better. Well, you suck. What a dad. Dad, where's my room? What'd you do with my stuff? Shut up, I sold
That's
it.
what my daughter said when she left.
Yeah?
It's not your room anymore.
What'd you do to her room? What's in there
It's an
now?
office now. It's a home office.
Like, you can keep the room, $500 a month. No.
So, yeah, that's funny. So Dresden, is Dresden going to college?
He's going to the Air Force.
That's right. And he's leaving when?
He hasn't got his leave date yet.
Okay.
But he's had all his medical exams, all the paperwork's filled out, 2 days of medical exams. He's ready to go.
Wow.
Whenever they say.
Wow. Interesting. Cool beans. All right. Well, this is cool. I think I'm going to have to order this, or if not, Cheryl, you can order this for Father's Day. It's only $60.
Wrap it up.
It's cool. It'd be a great Christmas gift, huh?
Yeah. I could see ordering a couple of those and just putting one on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Like just a
You got to have one in the fifth wheel on the bed.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, so right on. So, all right, Mr. Danny, is that it?
That's it.
All right, dude. Thank you very
It's
much.
hot here.
Is it hot? Yeah, you're
Yeah.
inside. What do you mean hot?
It's hot in here. It's hot.
You're in air
At least it wasn't yesterday. Yesterday was 106.
I know, it's crazy. Too early. It's only
Today's only 104.
really. It's not that bad in here though in the
No.
studio. Well, luckily we have an AC.
It's
going.
warm,
but
but
yeah, but it's not that.
but
bad.
I'm not like.
Right. So, right on. All right, Danny. Thank you very
I'll
much.
check
Dude.
with you in 3 hours. Maybe you will be.
Hopefully not. So, okay, man. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye, Danny.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for the blanket tip.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. That was Mr. Danny Valderrama. He is our Bigfoot reporter and has been with us now going a little over a year now, I think. And
Yeah, somewhere.
he is getting way more popular than we are. So
Mhm.
we're going to have to get rid of him and find somebody else. Just the way it goes. You don't do the co-host and host of the show, and you are out of here.
Yeah, when you get more popular than us, man,
Dude.
Bye.
we'll have to make a patch. No,
Don't make a patch. No, we're not like that, you guys.
we'll make a Danny patch.
I don't give a. Yeah, you know what? If Danny's bigger than us, more power to him. That way, more people will listen to us, and that's just the way it goes. All right, now what we're gonna do is let me tell you a little bit about our little field trip we had a couple days ago. Not yet. The Turi Reservation is located south of Fresno, about 50, 60 miles maybe.
Something like that,
Yeah.
like about an hour
Like
and a half drive.
Okay,
Yeah.
down the 99, and then you get off on the 190, and you go east towards the city or a town called Porterville, and there is an Indian reservation up there called the Turi Res
With a casino.
with the casino.
And I'm gonna tell you, they have all the latest slot machines. I mean, I was amazed. It was nice, real nice.
I won some money.
Yes, he
we'll
bought
ta-
lunch
we'll,
too.
We'll talk about that. So, okay. So, anyways, we've been, for all those who have been listening and watching us over the past years, we've been there a couple times.
Right.
And
I've been there about 4 times. but-
with finding Bigfoot and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So, this time, we one of our fans on Facebook and of the show has been watching our show for a while now, and we became good friends with her. Her name is Christina. I'm not gonna tell everybody her last name, and she happens to live on the reservation. And one day she said, you know what? Why don't you guys come up to the higher altitude campground that we have up here, and let's see if we can find anything, or if you guys can find anything. Bigfoots have been spotted around. Bigfoots have been spotted around the reservation for years and years and years. They've actually come down, from what I understand, from what Christina said, down even closer to the casino.
Yeah, they used to look in people's windows.
Right, on the res.
Mm-hmm.
So to everybody there, Bigfoot is a given. As a matter of fact, for all those who are familiar with the painted rocks, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to show everybody, we're wearing 2 shirts that Christina gave to us.
What would the saying mean? I can't remember what she said.
I don't know. She said it while we were listening to all those screams, so I don't remember.
She'll have to tell us.
Yeah. Well, she'll tell us right now. So, Christina is the linguist for the tribe. She is a teacher, and she is teaching the younger crowd, right? The language of the Yokut tribe. And that's what she does on the res. And she is also into Bigfoot. I mean, who isn't really?
If you live there, you have to be in it.
Right.
I mean, this is the shirt they made, right?
Right.
And then they got, I think Jeff posted on your Facebook the statue that they carved,
and I'll show everybody that I took pictures.
So I mean, everywhere you go over there is Bigfoot.
So a Bigfoot is. And the reason why it's such a big thing there is because they have some, what do you call it? I don't want to say pictographs, are they? Or drawings?
Yeah, they're pictographs.
Pictographs of on some rocks, some very large rocks, which to me look like Bigfoot and families of Bigfoots. And these things are, from what I understand, are like over 1,000 years old, possibly, and they've been there for a long time, and. The tribes, from centuries ago, they've always talked about the Bigfoots in that area. And what was it, about 3 years ago, we were invited to a campground there, right? Is it about 3 years ago?
I was looking. It was 2011.
Okay, so almost 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. And we went and camped out. Was it one night or two?
Two
nights. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it was on the lower elevation campground that they have there, where they have all the powwows, and it's a very nice campground. But where we went on Thursday was a old logging camp that the loggers back in the days actually built, because that's where they actually had all the people stay and all that kind of stuff. And there's been a lot of excitement up there. So
and there was redwood stumps as big as a house.
Yes, that we were up in the redwood, about 55 elevation, I think she said, 5,000 foot.
55 to 6,000.
And there was redwoods where we went. And what I want to do is
beautiful.
What I want to do right now is I'm going to show you where we went. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and that way you have an idea of what I am talking about. Now you don't want to see that one. At the location, there is several. These look like, I don't want to say brand new cabins, but there's about 6 or 7 or 8 cabins that are there.
I guess they're original, and then they refurbished
them. Okay,
and there's one left that Jeff was saying that he thinks, like, when the Bigfoot when it's snowing and stuff like that. He said, I bet you that Bigfoot is staying in that cabin, and probably has been for years and years and years and years.
Right. That's what
I would guess so.
My feeling is, because I've had reports of Bigfoots trying to get out of the snow in people's sheds up in the mountains, and people have seen them, and they're just kicking it during snowstorms and trying to get out of the cold, right? Trying to stay dry. So, anyways, what I'm showing you right now is a photograph of where Alan and I stayed. And there is my truck back there. And what I'm going to show you right now really quick is where Christina and a friend of hers stayed. If I pull that up. There it is. So there's my truck, my white truck right there, compared to where they were staying. So that gives you an idea of, and look at the redwoods back there.
Yeah, I think we were in the biggest cabin. It had a big table. Mm-hmm. Every one of them had a wood stove. I mean, they were nice. I'm going to tell you.
They were really nice.
Oh, you bring your cot and your mattress and your sleeping bag, and you're set to go. Right. And you don't even need a sleeping bag. You could actually build a fire in the wood stove, and sleep on top of the cot. It was beautiful.
Right. It was very well maintained.
Yeah. Had porta potties. I mean, it was
2 porta potties, yeah, which blew me away.
Yeah.
So Christina invited us, and we arrived on Thursday, I think about 2:00, and because we were supposed to meet her at 4:00. So I sat down on the blackjack table, played a little bit of cards, and she showed up, and so we went first to the Painted Rock. And obviously, we have been to the Painted Rock before, but man, I could always go back again and again and again. And obviously, I'm showing you a picture right now of my big mug in front of doing a selfie in front of the Painted Rock. That way, I was there, because I was going to just take a picture of the rock, but all the people can say, "Oh, well, you weren't there. I mean, that's somebody else's picture." So I know how you guys are.
And if people don't know anything about that rock, those paintings are from 700 to 1,000 years old.
Right.
On that rock. That's how long Bigfoot that they've known Bigfoot was running around there.
Right. And it's a very special place for the tribe, this location here, because a lot of people have witnessed Bigfoots in that area. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, guys. It's a given. They are there.
Well, the last time we went, me and JoJo saw one.
You guys saw one.
2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Yep, and I'm still going to kick your you-know-what for not waking me up. So.
Yeah, we'll have to tell them, it went off again, and we probably could have stepped out and saw one, and we didn't.
And we'll talk about that. Yeah, so, okay. So, again, here's another cabin. Matter of fact, this is the one I believe we stayed at, I think.
You see the wood stove
right
pipe coming out the top?
So.
They even have windows, but they're kind of like locked so the bears don't get in.
Right. I mean, it's very simple to get in. So, okay. So, anyways, we arrived and we went to the Painted Rock, and then we went to, we started driving up, and there was a guard shack. And you have to understand, not just anybody can go up there. They have now guard shacks there with machine guns on top, and no, I'm just kidding. No machine guns, but they do have armed guards. So it is now very, very hard to get up to this spot. You can't. As a matter of fact, we took 3 dirt roads to get up there, and I would have gotten lost if she was not guiding us, basically, or being in front of me, because there's no way I would have made it up there. It was way up there. The dirt roads were just really, I'm going to say, not in good shape because of the rains, and what they do with the waters is they tend to cut into the roads, and now you have dips and holes and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very bad drive if you don't have a truck with the good alignment.
I wouldn't even take a car.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Matter of fact, there's just no way you'd make it up there. So
in fact, later on, somebody even towed in a car.
Yeah,
it didn't even make it, and they had to tow it.
Exactly.
And I was like, why did they keep towing it all the way up? They should have towed it back down, but
So anyways, there is a guard shack as soon as before we got actually started, and Alan and I had to show our identification, and the guards there took photographs of it and gave us permits, and we were basically on our way. And we got there, I don't know, about 5:30ish, I think, probably 5:30, 6 o'clock, right around there. By the time we got there, we started offloading, and it started getting exciting
right away.
All right, I was offloading my truck, and you guys have to understand and for all those who've been watching this show, I am hard of hearing. I have high frequency loss on both of my ears because I used to have all right, so, and I've said this before, if you wanted just to watch us on live stream and not hear us, you can go to Dark Matter and listen to us there and just mute the live stream and get the best of both worlds. So either way, however way you want to do it. So anyways,
are you running? Is that one running?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta click out of there. So anyways, we're offloading the vehicle, and to my surprise, I heard a very loud screeching yell. And I don't usually hear these yells because, again, I have high frequency loss. So I had to stop and think to myself, okay, what did I just hear? Was that just a figment of my imagination, or did somebody open up a door and it squealed, or what? So Alan was coming back up. He was like walking around with his cane a little bit, and I go to Alan, did you hear something? And he goes, yes. They go, did you hear that? And I go, yes, I heard that. And then he basically said it before I said it. He goes, there was a high scream. I said, yes, I heard it. And I'm going, holy smoke. So
it was a little ways away too.
yeah, it was a ways away. Yeah, absolutely. But it was like I heard it, and I don't usually hear these stuff, you guys. So it was a good one. Obviously, I didn't get it on audio because we were barely offloading the vehicles.
Right.
So the day before Thursday on Wednesday, I went and I purchased this, guys, and I'm showing you that this is right now on the. I purchased a H5 handy recorder Zoom by Zoom. I guess it's by Zoom. H5 handy recorder, the digital recorder, and I went and purchased this because I was not going to take any chances and go up there without the proper equipment. Obviously, I had my iPhone. My equipment that I used was my iPhone. But I just didn't want to take a chance because I've heard a lot about this place, and so I just, again, I wanted to be safe than sorry. So I'd rather have been safe than sorry. So, after I heard that loud scream, I turned to Alan. He said yes, and then Christina and her friend was there, and I yelled at them. I said, "Hey, did you guys hear something?" And they said, "No, we didn't," because I guess they were talking to each other up there. And they didn't hear it. So right away, I broke out the digital recorder and I placed it on a tripod and I turned it on and we started talking, and there it goes. So what I want to do right now is I want to get Christina on the phone. We're going to talk to Christina before we let you guys hear the sounds, because Christina, again, is the reason why we're there. She heard exactly what you're going to hear tonight, and I want to talk to her about it because it's very interesting what she has to say. So we're going to get her right now. Emerald's got her on the phone, and she's going to plug her in.
I was actually surprised that things were like escalating so quick.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, normally we wait a little while and into the night before things start happening.
Christina.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Christina.
Hello.
All right. So are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
fine.
Sweet. Right on. All right. So I'm taking it you were watching us right now, and basically what I want to do is before we let everybody hear the roars and the screams, I want to talk to you first, and then I want to hang up the phone with you so that way you can get to your laptop, put your earphones on, because Christina hasn't heard these at all yet as well, and I want to make sure she has a good quality connection, and I don't want her to hear it over the phone because it's just not going to work. So. And I want to say thank you, Christina, because we had a fantastic time on Thursday, and it was a blast. And I think it was you weren't expecting this to happen, right?
No, it wasn't. I wasn't expecting anything to happen.
Now you've been going there how long? How many years have you been going up there to that spot?
All my life.
Okay, so we're talking over. I'm not going to say how old you are, but let's just say over 25 years, right?
Yeah, easily.
Easily, and with your kids as well, right?
Right.
Right. So, and
she sleeps in the back of the truck, right? You put the sleeping bag in the back of the truck.
That's right. There's an air mattress in the back, and that's how we camp.
And that's how you camp. So you don't even spend the night in these cabins. You're outside in the open air, looking up at the stars, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
See, and I'd be locked in the cabin.
Well, see, and this blows me away because you've been going up there for over 25 years, and you have never heard a sound. But you know what? Alan and I were talking, and it's like, but you're not aware of what to hear or to look for. These sounds could have been happening all this time, and to you, it could have been kids playing or birds or the wind. It just blows me away that all these years, that area of the Turi Reservation is Bigfoot country, and I was blown away to see your expression on your face when you started to hear these things. I mean, you were blown away. You were tripping, weren't you?
Well, I have to say that we're brought up. We just know that they exist. There's no doubt.
Right.
Of the existence of them. So it's not something that I'd go out and look for, and it's something that you see on TV, with the tree knocking and that sort of thing. That's just not something that we would do. We just go out and enjoy the environment with our family, and it's not something that we're going to look for. If it's something that's going to contact us, I mean, that's something that's beyond our control. That's just, it's going to happen or it's not.
Right.
And I shared with you, we have a different view of what this is. I mean, it's more spiritual, and
Right.
so it's not something that I go intentionally looking for. If it's going to present itself, then it's a blessing.
Right. Well, it definitely presented itself in a certain way on Thursday night.
Yeah.
I
and can I preface this by saying that, here, at Turi River, we're really proud and protective of our sacred sites
yes.
and our culture,
Mm-hmm.
and that you guys coming up, it was done very respectfully. Visiting the Painted Rock and our sacred areas, it was done very respectfully, and I appreciate that you guys came up and were conscious of that.
It was an honor.
Yes.
I felt like I was going to the White House. Like if that kind of honor to me. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, oh, we're just going to go out to the country. We were going to.
We are like probably, I mean, it's an honor where you can't say everybody has been up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. But only when I don't know, I always, everywhere that I go and it's sacred ground.
Right.
I mean, real sacred. Like I was, right before Christina, we got you on the phone, I was telling them those paintings, they're like 1,000 years old on that rock. I mean, this is an ancient site, and it's to be respected. You have to respect the
It's not
place,
just a painted rock. It's a burial ground. It's
Right.
a village site, and it needs to be respected. And that's why we're very careful not to exploit the area.
Right.
And so bringing you guys in was more as friends,
Right.
and it's not inviting a camera crew or that whole thing. So I appreciate that you guys were very respectful of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Well, I was really impressed with you, and when you were talking about saving the language, and I mean, I think that's so honorable to do that. I mean, I know.
Well, let's
that's
talk.
a big project too.
Well, let's talk about that. You're the linguist for the tribe, correct?
No, I'm the director of the language program.
Oh, the director.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. So tell everybody what your duty is then.
Well, we have a staff of 7 people, and we have an elder advisor as well as staff that teach the language throughout the week. We teach from the child care all the way up to the elders.
Wow. Okay. And you basically want to make sure that your language stays around, right?
Right. Yeah. California was hit really hard from the gold rush area till today, and government policy to abolish the languages in our culture. So it's been really difficult. Right now we have an estimated 3 fluent elder speakers left in the world. Those of us that work in the program, we were fortunate enough to work with tribal elders to learn the language, and what we're doing is teaching throughout the week. We teach all ages. Our doors are open to everyone in the community to come in and learn the language. And one of the things that is upcoming is a immersion classroom for parents to work with their infants and toddlers so they can bring the language into the home.
That is so cool. Wow. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Okay. So, all right. We're already there. Let's talk about already arriving at the site.
Okay.
Elevation is now you said about 6,000 feet, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. And we're offloading, and you guys are offloading. Alan and I hear something, and at that time you didn't hear anything because you were too busy. I think probably in the cabin.
They were doing the same thing we were.
Yeah, we were. Just that for some reason we heard it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I set up the recorder, and what did I do? Now, obviously, you guys, like I said, you've been up there so many times. I did something that I think set off everything. And you guys, have you ever done wood knockings at all up there?
No, I don't know anybody who has done that.
Okay. So this is how it all started, you guys. I got some 2 good pieces of firewood that didn't have any bark on it, that very smooth, and I did 2 repetitive wood knocks, and that started it.
Yeah, it did.
It started it. You guys, obviously, I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear him because I am deaf. All right, but you, Alan, and your friend, she was blown away, as you were, because I saw your face, Christina, and you were going, "What? What is this? What am I listening to?" And I turned to you and I go, "Do you think it could be other kids up here goofing around?" And you said, "No, because we're way up there.
Yeah,
we're way up there."
And initially I thought it was a steer. There are a lot of cows up there, a lot of cattle.
Right.
And I thought it was a steer because that's the closest thing, it's to what I've heard.
Anything that can make something that loud.
When I first heard it, I kind of dismissed it because I figured, it's a steer off in the distance.
Right.
But by the second yell, I realized that that's not what it was, and I was trying to figure out what exactly was I hearing because it had a human quality to it.
Right.
Sure did. And it was echoing off the canyon.
Right. It was way
and
up.
And it was coming closer at a surprising rate.
Yes, it was.
And you were getting, actually, your friend, is your friend?
Cynthia.
Yeah, Cynthia. She's not from that tribe, is she?
No, she's not a tribal member. She's my best friend.
Okay. And Alan was telling me when you guys invited us, I don't want to say your intentions were to go, nothing happened, but that was pretty much set in the back of your mind that you were going to let us do our stuff, and then nothing was going to happen, and you guys were going to say, well, see, nothing happened.
Right. I mean, I love being in the mountains, so my intent was just to kick back, just enjoy the camp, and let you guys run your equipment, and I was absolutely positive that there was 0% chance of anything happening.
Well, I was pretty much expecting it, but not. I was expecting it more later. Usually, when we go on investigations, we don't get anything in the day. Before the sun goes down.
No. Well,
not very often.
It has to be nighttime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes we do, but we were going to a whole new place. We didn't know what to expect, and I fully expected nighttime stuff.
Right.
That was a shocker for me. I mean, my eyes were watering, and my hair was standing on end, and I had goosebumps all over my body.
After the third or roar or scream, whatever you want to call it, Alan really got emotional. You got emotional. You did. And it's because, when something like this happens, you have to pinch yourself. Is this really happening? And I saw your face, Christina. You were just blown away. You're going, what am I hearing? This is crazy.
I was so glad something happened.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
and then I knew what it was too. That's the thing, is I've heard it before, so it instantly hit that nerve, that you like, yeah, there it is, and it gets you that weird feeling.
Well, me, I was just going through that catalog of every known animal that's on our res, and I just didn't match it up to anything that I've heard.
Right. Well, that's cool. That right there, I'm so happy that you got to hear them. But okay, so anyways, let's just say, okay, so we are hearing these things roar, and I'm going, please God, let me get this all on recording, because I wasn't hearing anything because of my hearing was just gone. And you guys were tripping out. You, Cynthia, and Alan were tripping out big time. And I'm glad because, something was happening. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Now, it stopped. I think after 8 or 9 roars, it stopped. And, we all calmed down, settled down. It started getting dark, and we set up, got a campfire going, and sat around the campfire. Now, this place that we were at, it's basically open to anybody on the reservation. So at about 11 o'clock or so, right around there, another family drove up, and they actually parked down the ways, and they sat and they were camping out at another cabin. And I felt that you were probably kind of bummed that happened, but I felt that you were also kind of relieved that happened, because Alan and I could see Cynthia's face and your face, and you're going, we're going to go in the cabin and we're not going to come out. I mean, you even told us that, right? I mean, you go, here, I got your shirts and your book, and we're not coming back out of the cabin. Now,
we went and had dinner.
Yeah.
And even now, if your kids would have been there and the yells and the screams would have happened, do you think you would have probably ended up going home?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it wasn't something that was intimidating or fearful.
Okay.
That's just part of the environment.
Right. Okay. So
they stayed far enough away where it wasn't too scary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if it would have ran right up on us, maybe we had a different attitude.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we don't know if they might have been right there, and I think they were.
I think they were too. Yeah.
And we're going to get into that. So at 12 o'clock, I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore because I had worked the previous weekend, and I haven't had a day off in 2 weeks, so I had to go to sleep. You guys stayed up. You, Cynthia, and Alan stayed up, and I think Alan stayed up even further than you guys.
So about 2:30.
About 2:30. Okay. For all those who don't know, again, who haven't watched my show in the past, I am a geek when it comes to electronics. I have some motion detectors that I take up with us when we go Bigfooting. And I place these motion detectors around the campsite in certain locations. So if something happens to walk or crawl in front of any one of these motion detectors, it will send a signal to my base, which is right by my head. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the certain whatever number that represents that motion detector, it will light up on my base. At 5:30, number 1 started going off, and it woke me up, and that's the one near your cabin. And I thought to myself, okay, it's the girls getting up to go to the bathroom, but it kept on going off and going off and going off. Now, as soon as we got up, you actually texted me something, and I actually still have the text here, and I'm going to read it because at Friday at 6:02 a.m., this is what you said. You said, "Was that you knocking around here at 5 o'clock a.m.? Oh, and now they're roaring towards the north. I heard 3 about 15 minutes ago." And I didn't get it because my phone had died. And so you heard, what did you hear around your cabin at about that time?
Well, I figured it was you because nobody else that I know does the wood knocks. So I heard walking around our cabin and some not very loud, but some distinct wood knocks.
So were the wood knocks very far away or close by?
No, I would say they were within about 40, 50 feet.
Wow. Okay. Now, so, and again, you guys, that motion detector kept on going off. It kept on going off. But for the life of me, and I told Alan this, I could not get out of bed. It was, something was telling me it was the girls getting up to go to the bathroom, but it constantly kept on going off and off and off. But I couldn't get out of bed to check it.
See, and I was telling myself it was the kids running around.
See, but how could it be those kids down there at 5:30 in the morning? They're not going to be running around. How come I couldn't get out of bed?
I thought it was later in the morning. That's why.
No, it actually started prior to 5 o'clock.
Wow.
See, and the motion didn't get. Oh, then that's probably when the motion. I really didn't see the time, but I was telling myself the first time it went off, it was the girls getting up to go to the bathroom, and then it did not stop. It was constantly going off, but.
It was too.
It
was getting me annoyed. It was like, man, stop it, kids.
Yeah, I was going. I mean, how much did you guys drink as far as liquids before you guys? I'm seriously, Christina. I thought it was you guys, but then again, my brain is telling me you can't.
Get up and look.
I should get up and look, but I couldn't get out of bed.
Right.
I couldn't get out of bed, and I am upset at myself. But I'm going. But why couldn't I have gotten out of bed? I don't understand. Why? I was wide awake. Why didn't I get my big fat butt out, open that door, and just look to the right of me and look at that door where the motion was on the picnic table? Why didn't I get out of bed? I couldn't.
I think even if you did, it's wooden floors.
Right.
And I think you would have made enough noise before you even got, like getting yourself aroused and up.
Right.
That it gives them plenty of time to clear out. You know what I mean? I mean, they're very, very attuned to what's going on.
One went off, and then the number 2 went off.
Right.
And that's the one that was right in front of us.
Right.
Okay, on that piece of wood. So I thought it was them now walking to the bathroom.
Right.
Because that's the way you go to the bathroom. You're going to activate 1 and 2. I still didn't get up to go check it.
And there was no tracks because the ground was too hard.
It's very hard. Okay.
Cows didn't
and
even
I thought
leave
it
tracks.
was you. I was pissed off thinking, what the hell are you doing up that early in
Right.
the morning?
See, and you guys thought it was me. Now, see, that's what blows me away. Why didn't either one of us get out to go check?
Maybe it was suggesting it to your mind.
That's what I don't understand.
It was playing you guys against each other.
You know what? Well, obviously, Christina and Christina and Cynthia, you guys were still a little blown away the night before. Did that cause you? I mean, why?
No, she was sound asleep. She didn't hear any of it.
Okay, but
I looked over where she was across the cabin, and she didn't move at all. She was sound asleep. And I had been listening to it for several minutes, maybe half hour. And, first thing in the morning, you have to use the restroom. And I'd say, okay, I have no privacy because Jeff's walking around outside.
Yeah, but that's just it, Christina. If I would have go taken a leak, I would have taken a leak around my cabin and not yours.
Well, I thought you were looking for prints or something. I didn't know what the heck
or just
you were
trying to
doing.
freak somebody out.
Yeah,
but
but that's not. I mean,
he's out there running around knocking on wood
no,
to
that's
scare
not, I would
you.
not do that. See,
No, and what
I
I told Jeff was, I thought, that's pretty ballsy with other tribal members camping out to do that early in the morning. I couldn't figure out why he would do that and piss everybody off.
That's weird that you both were going through the same thing and not getting up.
Right.
Though.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand. I don't get that. So, okay.
I actually thought it was the kids, and I was getting annoyed at them, because I know I have 6 kids, and grandkids, so I mean, usually that's the culprit.
But
you know
but common sense would have told you at 5:30 these kids would have been in bed already.
Well, I didn't know what time it was. All I know is there was daylight showing around the window wood, so I thought it was. I didn't know what time. I didn't know. All I knew was
that just right there blows me away. That neither one of us, Christina, got up to open the door to see why, what was around the campsite, what was activating these motions.
But only the belief is that they could read your mind, and suggest things to you, because they're like what Christina said. They're not of our realm. They're spiritual.
Right.
So I mean, they can control certain aspects, and that's what they did.
I am very upset at myself for not getting my ass out of bed.
Next time
serious.
you will, huh?
Well, I don't know. Can I?
I
will
don't
I
know.
be able to? I don't know.
Yeah.
So okay. So
Well, I was positive it was you.
wow.
So
And
at
he
6
was pretty
o'clock,
positive it was you.
Before I messaged you, I went to go plug my phone in the car.
Right.
In the truck.
Wow. Okay, so morning comes around 6:30. I get up, and you guys are already up, and you're taking stuff out to the truck already. And I'm doing some stuff, and then you turn to me, and that's when you said, that's when you were telling me, was that you walking around the campsite or whatever. And later on, though, you found something. What you turned to me, and what did you tell me?
Well, I thought it was odd. Someone left a key sitting on my tailgate.
Right. I'm going to show everybody the picture right now. How and what happened here. This really here blew me away, you guys. This was left on the tailgate of her truck. Now, a lot of people are going to say that that in the movement of the truck, you driving up, the key was bounced up and was sitting there. But the only problem with that is that you know what you have in the back of your truck. Does that key, do you remember even having a key like that?
No, it doesn't belong to me. It wasn't something my boys found. I mean, could it have been placed there by one of the kids in the camp? I mean,
No.
that's entirely possible because I didn't see it
Right.
get placed there.
Well, again,
It just seemed odd.
the kids were already asleep by 12, I think.
Yeah.
They're already asleep, and where they were sitting or where they were staying compared to where you were staying, you guys were far apart on each side of the camping ground. You know, why would let's say one of the kids, if they found a key, would have placed it on the bed of your truck? Why not on the picnic table, or why not on the door? You know,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Now, my theory, this is my theory only, and I sent it to you, and I told Alan my theory. You know, you've been going up there for a long time, and I believe, and so does Alan believe, that the Bigfoots there, however many they are, have been watching you grow up, and they have been there with you and your family all these years.
Yep.
And
The whole time.
And you guys just never knew that they are there, that they're there watching you out of the, because the tree line is right there, man. I mean, it's right there. Now, and when we were at the picnic table, you and Alan were saying, you hear that? It's right there.
Yeah.
Movement around in the tree lines. I mean, you guys were saying that.
Yeah.
My theory is because of the tree knocks, they knew what those were, because from what I understand, Bigfoots do tree knocks to communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they were blown away, because you told me, as far as you can tell, that no one has ever done tree knocks up there. And here 2 white guys come up, and all of us start doing tree knocks, and all of a sudden they start screaming at us, literally right after I started doing these tree knocks. And
they're out to get you. For sure.
Well, you could tell they were pissed.
Yeah. One more knock and you would have not slept that night. You know. No.
But you know, they were.
I'm just kidding.
I feel they were blown away because they have never heard that there ever, so they were intrigued. So obviously they come to the campsite. They probably were looking at all of us during the night, and he or whoever, whichever Bigfoot I think has been by your side, wanted to finally announce to you that he or she has been there, and he left you this offering.
Now what's cool is you know, because you live over there, you could go up there again, park in the same place, drop the tailgate, and now you can leave a gift.
Right. If you spend the night.
You know, yeah.
Right.
And in the morning, I would bet money that your gift will be taken and one will be left.
Now,
for you
went last night because this totally intrigued you, didn't it?
Man, I wish I could have went last night.
I like cruising around at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Like, you do this all the time.
Okay,
you know?
so you went at what time last night?
Around midnight.
Okay. Wow. You got some balls, man. Let me tell you, because Alan, I mean, come on. I mean, it's like you have these things screaming and roaring at us, and here, did you go by yourself?
Yeah.
People, it took us an hour to get up to this place. No lights, nothing, complete darkness, and here Christina's going up all the way up to the top of the mountain.
No moon. There was no moon.
By yourself. You are nuts. But anyways,
yeah, but there was those other guys were staying for the weekend, so.
Oh, that's right. Because when you went up there were some people there already, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So she wouldn't be all alone.
Yeah, but what if she was all alone? That just blows me away. So, all right. So you left. Before you left an offering, right?
Yeah, I don't really want to go into what I left.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Did you leave it over where I was peeking around on that side, someplace?
Further back.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm. When are you gonna go back up?
When am I going to go?
Yeah. 'Cause I
don't know. I'm on vacation for another week, so maybe.
I bet you it's gone and something else is there.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Take the kids up there and let them see.
So, okay. Well, I just you know, the whole key thing threw me for a loop. I personally think that if this key was laying in the middle railings of this bed, then I wouldn't have made a big thing about it. But look at the way the key has been left on the right there.
It was placed.
It was placed. All right, and
it goes with like what we know already, that they like little shiny things like rocks, pretty rocks, marbles, little things like that, and they've been known like this is a real known thing that they leave things, gifts, and usually they leave it, you know, somewhere like on a path that you'll walk or something. But they knew they were going to get in the back of the truck or put things back there, so they just set it right there.
Right, and that was pretty much obvious to me.
It was cool, man. That is really cool.
Right.
That's like a gift, and that means good,
right? Not
bad.
So okay, well, the shirts you gave us, these shirts, Christina. Tell us about these shirts that you gave us that we're wearing right now.
Those are our program shirts from about 2 years ago. And our program is the Turi River Yokats Language Project. And it says, Wika Main Chejo.
True honor, and I had a great time, and something actually happened.
And we're gonna invite you to one of our favorite spots.
Absolutely.
And right on, I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, and bring your friend too, and even your boys if you want. It would be so fun.
Yeah. So we'll go on a camping trip. So right on. Okay, Christina, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'll give you a little bit of time to get ready, get your earphones on, because we're going to play those screams, okay?
Okay, I'll go grab them.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye, Christine.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, right now, I want everybody to get your earphones plugged in.
Man, part 3, huh?
Yeah, you know
what's up with that?
I don't know. That doesn't make any
sense.
sense.
So is it going to really mess with us when we start doing the screams?
I don't know. That just doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be doing that. Why would... I don't know. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get the recorder ready. You will be able to hear this on the Dark Matter Network as well, because I'm pumping the audio.
You might even be able to hear it better too.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Because Keith's man, he upgraded his whole studio. It's like top notch now.
Okay. So what I did is I went through and I marked down all the locations where the roars are at. And the tree knocks, because I'm going to have to lower the volume on the tree knocks because they are loud. We're about 20 feet from the recorder. I had the recorder placed on a tripod, and we were about 20 feet away on a picnic table. And you know, when I was doing the tree knocks, and when I mean tree knocks, I had 2 pieces of firewood.
Yeah, and then you had it turned up, like.
Well, I had it full blast.
You had it max.
I had the mic full blast.
Because it was where the sounds were coming were from far. Well, it doesn't seem as far as like how it sounds on the recorder. The same as when that one roared at us.
Right.
You know how when you're listening to the recording, you're like, man, that doesn't even match what you heard.
You know, it's not the same as if you were there.
And it's the same with this recording. I actually could hear it clearer and everything in real time than the recorder. Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and start it up. Now, what I'm going to do, because like I said, it is very, I want to say very faint in the background. So I'm going to turn on the mic. I'm going to announce 3 seconds to the roar. So I'm going to go 3 seconds. And then I'm going to click off my mic and go dead silent, so that way the only thing that's going through the board is the actual recording, and then it's going to be in the background. This is what I want you guys to listen for. Something like that. All right? Maybe even I can't even do it.
No, I can't either.
Okay, so
you'll hear it.
Yeah, so you'll hear it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start it up. I'm going to mute mics, except mine. Actually, mine's pretty good right there. So, okay, here we go. What happened?
Oh, you have to wear it?
That's why I looked at you guys and you said it like, oh, crap, I did. I was going into what he was, I wasn't trying to listen to it. But it was loud enough that it caught my, that was cool.
Hold on. Okay, that was my first knock. All right. Get ready for the roar.
I'm recording. That was my good ear, too. That's why I heard it so good.
3 seconds.
I've never heard that.
That was another one, huh? Right now?
Okay, that was a low one.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is going to start getting louder. 46 seconds, the knock. I'm going to lower the volume. Okay, then at 58 seconds, we're going to have a roar. Hold on. 3 seconds.
Hear that? Heard that too. What is that?
That was twice. Okay, I'm gonna rewind it really quick. Okay, 2 seconds.
Hear that? Heard that too. What is that?
All right, now.
I'm doing good. That's awesome.
Another knock. Then we have about a minute until the, and then we have about another minute for the other roar, and I'm gonna crank it. Hold on, at 2:25. Hold on.
Screw it. I'm using the bucket.
She said it. It's no shit tonight. That was like yeah.
Wow.
See, I seen them, so I get all excited. Goosebumps.
He's a soft touch.
I've never heard that ever. No.
I have.
That was just, that's the meeting. There was 4.
Yeah.
Well, that middle one was like,
There's one, and then there was 3 in a row.
the second one was like a
King Kong.
yeah, it's a roaring.
Really?
Yeah.
You might have some excitement tonight. You guys want to?
Already?
No, we're gonna get some excitement tonight. You guys are. 5 seconds.
Again. Wow. They're active.
Let me rewind that one.
They're active. Again.
You heard that? Okay, I'm gonna rewind again. Here we go. Emerald heard it and she went, oh shit. There you go. 2 seconds.
Again. Wow. Again. Wow. Again. Wow.
One more time.
Again.
Okay. Here we go.
Again. Wow. They're active.
I can't hear that.
They're active. I'm gonna stand over there.
Okay, so we have a knock coming up, so I'm going to turn it down because these knocks are really loud. And the knock is coming in 3 seconds. I'm going to turn it down. Home run. So at 3:41 is the next roar. So it's in about 40 seconds from now, you guys. And I'll let you guys know when it's coming up.
Yeah. If we can hear them, they can't be there. Yeah, but they're yelling.
Here we go. My bad. Nope, not that one. Hold on. 3:41. Hold on. Okay, 5 seconds. Here we go. Okay, and here we go. Okay, I'm going to do it again so that way people can keep on listening. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm going to do it again so that way you guys can keep hearing it. Now we're out. 2 seconds. The reason why I'm doing this is I want to give you guys nightmares tonight. All right. Okay, we are at 3:50. So the next one's at 4:52. In 52 seconds, here comes another one. I'll let you guys know.
She said it to me. No shit tonight.
Oh, sorry. Okay, 12 seconds for the next roar. Four seconds.
You heard that. Oh my gosh, they're responding to that. That was even close.
I'm going to move back to that one.
You heard that. Oh my god.
One more time.
You heard that. Oh my gosh, they're responding to that. That was even closer. Yeah, he sounds like he's right here. That's exactly where I heard it. He sounds like right here. I got the chills.
Me too.
Oh, sorry. 5:18. Okay, 5:46. So in 20 seconds, we're going to have another one. 14 seconds. 46. 6 seconds.
Usually like right before dark, all the way through dark.
Oh, it's way back over there. It's back over there. It's answering more. Because it was that one's over there.
Sorry.
I just blew up Keith's studio.
Okay. 10 seconds. We have another roar coming up. 5 seconds. Okay, I'm going to rewind that. At 10:35, I just want to let you guys hear what Christina and them are talking about, because they're totally tripping out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tripping out. I've never in my life heard that, ever.
Okay. That is pretty much it. Like I said, if you were there, then you could feel it like they did. I didn't hear any of it because my high frequency loss. So what Alan's going to do is we just got a program that actually we can get free for this actual recorder, and he's going to pull up the sound and get them louder, and hopefully we can play them again next week. Were they able to hear him at all?
Some are.
Really?
But only, it's like only just,
Oh, wait. Was that?
just only a couple of people aren't hearing it.
Yeah, a few
Yeah.
people were able to hear. I could hear it. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
So
It's a trippy, and again, like we've caught recordings like this before, and the recording doesn't really do justice compared to when you're in person. I mean, and you could hear the reaction of everyone, Christina and her friend, and I mean they're totally reacting to it, and the only one that wasn't was Jeff, because he couldn't hear it.
I couldn't hear it.
I mean, he didn't hear any of them.
It
did it like 10 times too.
I did not listen to this until Saturday morning, because I was afraid that I didn't get them on recording, because I was afraid that I couldn't hear it.
Right.
I was afraid this thing wasn't going to pick it up, because I kept putting it off, and I'm pretty sure you and Danny are probably going, what the hell is taking them so long? I was scared that I wasn't going to get it, and sure enough, this thing did pick it up. And you guys have to remember, for all those who are listening right now on the radio or wherever you are, excuse me, this is just like if we were listening to them right there at the spot. This is what we heard, very faint, very far away. And, you know, people were saying, one person, I'm not going to say people, one person actually came up and said, you know what, how do you know that because you were invited that this wasn't, you know, placed out there? Somebody's actually doing this. No. Where we were at, trust me, when I say it blew Christina and Cynthia out of the water. They were totally blown away.
You talked to her, when you were talking to her just now, you said she didn't expect anything to happen. And that's
Right.
what she told us. We were sitting around the campfire after Jeff went to bed, and we were talking about it, and she's like, she was just letting us go up there and play with our toys, and if something happened, great, right? But they really did not expect anything because they've been up there hundreds of times and nothing ever happened, right? And then we show up and we start messing around, and right away something starts screaming at us. And that, if you could see the look in their face.
Okay, well, you know what? Hold on. Let me put up a look in somebody's face.
They had a look in their eyes. I mean, Christina's friend was like ready to go home.
Yes, she was.
She was like, okay, that was enough for me. You know, we're not even camping.
I don't hear you.
And then we were talking about, okay, we should have camped next to the toilets, you know, and she goes like, no shit. And I go, yeah, you said it. No shit tonight. You know, we're not going to walk that far down to the toilets.
They were
right?
seriously, you know, it sounds gross, Christina, but I mean, you guys were not going to come out and go to the bathroom.
That's right.
You guys were going to do it in the bucket.
Yep.
I mean,
and they were seriously talking about that.
Yeah.
And I was with them, you know. I'm not going down out there to. I wasn't going out there either, man. You know that there wasn't nobody faking us out.
So okay, so now let's talk about all of, and I want to say it's evidence.
It is.
All right. It's not like we heard, one little whoop and that was it. What this reminds me of, and I'm going to play it for you right now. You guys all know, and I think we've talked about this a while back, is
and I'm gonna when I take
okay, wait. Danny just posted on here because I have a group text on Facebook. Christina says she didn't tell anyone she was going up there.
Right.
Okay, so this was all hush hush type of deal. It was just her friend, and us two. Nobody else knew we were going up there. So, okay, so obviously this was not a prank. It blew her away.
It was so fun, and I can't wait to go do it again. You know, to go up there again because I have a feeling like if we can go in a night where other campers don't show up,
right,
we may get, you know, more closer interaction than we got, and it was really fun.
Let me longest Bigfoot.
Oh, the one.
I let Cheryl, my wife, hear this. Okay, she has ears. She has the best hearing that I know.
She has bionic
woman ears. Okay, and right now she has one ear plugged because she was sick. But she said this reminded me of the Bigfoot screams when that couple pulled over and broke down in their boat. A long time ago. She said it sounded just like that. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to play that for you.
And you know, like when this happened on this recording, we were at Felton, and this guy came and found us, right?
Right.
And told us we have to hear this, and he loaded it up on YouTube, and there wasn't that many views on it at that time. It'd only been up for like a night or two. And we were listening to that, and we're like, wow.
Now, for all those who want to go listen to this, it's on YouTube. You have to type in the longest Bigfoot screams ever. Just type that. Bigfoot screams, longest audio in the world. Right now it has like almost 600,000 views on it.
Right, yeah.
It's the Bigfoot screams, longest audio. So here we go. I'm going to play it for you guys.
Whatever it is over there. There's a bunch of them. They're talking. They're just communicating.
Now this guy, what this guy did is he actually took the audio of his
Yeah,
video,
there's one back there.
took the audio of his video camera and processed it, and was able to bring this out even louder. So that's what we're going to do next.
Barking amongst these howls.
It's identical sound.
I'm sleeping in a cab. I wish we had tailgate.
As far as I know, I've never heard of a Sasquatchy attacking anyone, even killing them. How many Sasquatchies do they have in this area?
So I just wanted you to hear that, so that way you have an idea of what. Yeah. So, anyways, but there you go. Again, it's on YouTube right now. You get the longest Bigfoot screams audio ever, and there you go. So, if it was just one scream, then I would not be here talking about this.
Right.
But with the 8 screams, with the motion detectors going off, with Christina hearing footsteps, she said it sounded like 2 feet. It wasn't like ruffling in the weeds or like a deer or a bear or anything like that. She said it was somebody walking around her cabin. And then she found the key. All right. Taking all that into consideration and where we were at, it can only be, one thing. And that's I'm going to leave it at that. All right.
Well, I think there's probably more on that file until you turned it off, but because we were here, Christina and Cynthia, I think was her name.
Yeah.
They were hearing, and even myself were hearing things right around us, like one of them was like a kind of sound, like a huff or a puff or something like that, and also like stick breaks and stuff like that. They were letting us know they were like right there, near us, but that was all. Just only a little bit of those kind of sounds, and I can't remember if that was recording or not at that time.
It goes for like 14 minutes, but then I stopped it and I removed the SD card because I did not want to be a goofball, because I had just taken this out of the box that night and turned it on, and I was hoping that I was getting it on audio, because and
that was like what, 20 feet from us.
That was about 20 feet from us. Yeah.
So the way you're hearing our voices, that's 20 feet away, and it sounded great.
That sounded right there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's why it was scaring me that I didn't get them on audio, because, they were way in the distance. So anyways, okay, all right. You know what? It's that time that we're gonna get hold of Heidi, and we're gonna talk to her about whatever she's gonna talk. I think she sent me some photographs of some Native American stuff. So for all those who are listening to right now on the artbell.com website, the photographs that we're going to be showing you right now on live stream are there at the artbell.com website homepage, and you'll see Heidi Hollis photograph, and you can go ahead and start clicking on those photographs, and they're numbered. And Heidi, you're there.
Hey.
How's it going?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hi, Heidi.
Hey, well, you guys got red-shirted or something. What's going on here?
That's right. We got Bigfoot red-shirted.
Love it.
Yeah, we did. So. It was cool.
All right, so how's it going?
Oh, life is fantastic. I had to do a last-minute scramble here because apparently my cordless phone wasn't plugged in fully, and it wasn't charged. I'm like, oh crap! I gotta try to find my other phone.
All right,
so
well,
it's not as clear. It's a little staticky, but
no, it sounds good.
I'll try to hold still.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, God help you. Well, I always like to say that I'm someone who has been there, seen that, experienced it, freaked out, found some answers, wrote about it, got over it, and now I'm trying to help other people do the same darn thing and understand this crazy world of ours. So if you dare, please go to my main website, HeidiHollis.com. And I want to invite anybody who's had any kind of odd experience, please feel free to write me, send me your story, pictures, drawings, I don't know, predictions, comments, to oddadvice@gmail.com, and I will do my best to share them live here on the show and go over it. So, I sent you some awesome pictures.
I have them.
And they were awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and start with number 1.
Something different. You know, I always like to just like dabble a little bit here, a little bit there, and I just wanted to talk about Thunderbirds, not the car, but actual Thunderbirds.
It's a totem.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I just love Native American art and stuff. So this is we're first going to do a little Native American history lore. This is coming from Wikipedia. Okay, just to give you a little background on what Thunderbirds are. This is a totem pole depiction of Thunderbirds according to North American indigenous peoples' history and culture. It's considered a supernatural bird of power and strength. It's especially important and frequently depicted in various art, songs, oral histories. Many Native Americans include this, including like the Pacific Northwest Coast, American Southwest, the Great Lakes, and Great Plains Native Americans. So the Thunderbird's name comes from the common belief that the beating of its enormous wings causes thunder and stirs the wind. The Lakota actually have a different name for it. I cannot pronounce this, but it's Wakiyin, which means sacred winged. So that's kind of interesting. If you go to the next image, it shows some of the other artwork in regards to how the Thunderbirds are depicted. This is a Native American pouch. Okay, so in oral history, depending on the people telling the story, the Thunderbird is either a singular entity or a species. In both cases, it's intelligent, powerful, very watchful, and wrathful. So I guess it likes to be angry. But every culture believes that it's important not to get the Thunderbird angry. The singular Thunderbird was said to reside on the top of a mountain and was the servant of the Great Spirit, and was also told that the Thunderbird controlled rainfall.
Ooh.
Do I sound really staticky to you guys? Is it clear enough?
No, you sound
great.
No,
you're good.
Okay, awesome. So the plural Thunderbirds could, get this, shape-shift into human form by tilting back their beaks like a mask and removing their feathers as if it were a feather-covered blanket. There are stories of Thunderbirds in human form marrying into human families, and some families may trace their lineage to such an event, among the natives, of course. Families of Thunderbirds who kept to themselves but wore a human form were said to have lived along the northern tip of Vancouver Island. The story goes that other tribes soon forgot the nature of one of these Thunderbird families. This is kind of funny. And when one tribe tried to take them as slaves, the Thunderbirds put on their feather blankets and transformed into their true form and took vengeance upon their foolish captors. The Sioux people believe that in old times the Thunderbirds destroyed, this is interesting, destroyed dangerous reptilian monsters that they called Unkitalia, something like that. The Menominee Indians of northern Minnesota tell of a great mountain that floats in the western sky on which there is Thunderbirds. That's where they live. They control the rain, hail, and they delight in fighting and doing deeds of greatness. They are the enemies of the great horned snakes. And they have supposedly prevented these snakes from overrunning the earth and devouring mankind. So they are considered to be the messengers of the great sun himself. That's fascinating to me. But to me, it sounds very much like guardian angels. But there's a famous story of the Thunderbird and the whale. The Thunderbird mythology parallels tales of the Rock, not what the Rock's cooking, but the Rock. From around the Indian Ocean, like the Rock, the Thunderbird is generally assumed to be based on real, though mythically exaggerated species of bird, namely the bald eagle, which is very common in the northwest coast. Among the Winnebagos, it is said that a man who has a vision of a Thunderbird during a solitary fast will become a war chief. So that's just a little background on the Thunderbirds. But interesting. Sounds like almost like angels protecting mankind from reptilians. That's just crazy to me.
We've had a lot of sightings actually out here between Sanger in the foothills and Fresno of a large bird, And
I remember.
it's crazy. People have seen it, near the foothills. So, a lot of that stuff is happening right around us here in Fresno,
Right.
California. So it's people are witnessing these very large birds. I don't know what they are, to be honest. I really don't.
Right.
Crazy.
Right. I remember you guys telling me about it, and it's just absolutely fascinating. I think it's very cool because I've got some stories to share on this topic. If you go to the next photo,
Okay.
and this is a Teratornis miramia, something like that. Mirami, something like that. I can't pronounce this stuff. It had a wingspan of around 3.5 to 3.8 meters, which is 11 to 12 feet, and a wing area of 17.5 square meters, standing about 30 inches tall. So that doesn't look like the kind of depiction that it doesn't quite match, but that image that's up there is more of a description of what people have been describing seeing in the skies. But a Teratornis is actually kind of like a pterodactyl, prehistoric like bird of yesterday. But the thing
Right.
that people are seeing these days looks like that thing.
That
so
looks like
this
a
comes
buzzard.
to us- What's that?
Doesn't it looks like a buzzard, kind of like.
It does, right?
Yeah.
With big man shoulders.
Yeah. Kinda so, yeah.
It does. I mean, that's a bulky looking creature. It looks like it could take a man apart in an instant. But so this story, this comes to us from paranormalnews.com. Okay, all of these stories, I've got a few of them. They're kind of interesting. There was an observation of a giant bird in West Virginia, late September 2007. A man was driving on a rural 2-lane road outside of Clendenin at about 8 a.m. Okay, yeah. When he had to stop hard on his brakes to avoid hitting a giant flying creature in the middle of the road. Oh, yeah, we're not ready for that picture there yet.
Oh, got it.
But a giant flying creature in the middle of the road. The giant bird was only a few yards ahead of him and was feeding on roadkill. The witness, who was an avid hunter, was startled by the size of the creature, which stood at least 4 feet tall, with its head extending above the roof line of his vehicle. The bird was covered with very dark brown or black feathers. The head seemed dominant, but not like overly proportioned to its body. The neck seemed long and slightly crooked. The beak was very long and large, and the eyes were very dark. But the feature which stood out the most to him was the massive wingspan of this bird. The wingspan was easily as wide as the 2-lane road. The witness stated the wings were, as I can remember, as arms of a human are attached. It had shoulders, and it was very muscular, its upper torso, and the wings were as if they were its arms. So that picture that you got up there is very appropriate. The wingtips stirred the dust and gravel. This is interesting. The dust and gravel, truly a thunderbird, but it stirred the dust and gravel on both sides of the roadway as it ran to become airborne. The witness later returned to the site and measured the distance across the road from edge to edge, and it was 21 feet. The witness stated that he was in a slight state of shock as he watched the creature fly off. The witness later tried searching for the identity of this bird, but the closest creature he could find in the book was the drawing of a teratorn, which is an extinct bird, of course. So I've just found that absolutely fascinating. Okay, so I've got another one. This comes from Rick Fisher, a researcher from Lancaster County and director of the Paranormal Society of Pennsylvania. He received a report who saw a strange flying creature, and he indicated that the witness appeared to be very credible and sincere, but wanted to remain anonymous because of his profession. I don't understand that. That's just so weird. The sighting was believed to have occurred June and July of 2007 near the community of Granite Run. The witness was driving through the area at about 1:30 a.m. when he stopped to get some gas. While pumping his gas, he heard a scratching sound which appeared to be coming from the roof of a nearby building. The man observed a dark shadow, which he described as being something that stood 3 to 4 feet tall in a hunched position. He was able to observe that it had wings, but no feathers. The wings were above the creature's head. The witness felt that the creature was observing him, and from what he could see from the shape, it didn't appear to be that of a bird. The witness left the location for a brief time, and when he returned, he heard a whooshing sound and wings flapping, and he could see that the creature had flown over to another nearby structure. The man had to be somewhere close to the area, still wondering about what he saw. That's kind of, I don't know what their English is jabbered here. But when the witness was interviewed, he was certain that it was not a bird, owl, or anything he was familiar with. I don't know. It sounds like a little Jeepers Creepers to me. You guys seen that movie?
Oh, yeah. That's a... Yeah.
He was a nasty-looking thing.
That's scary stuff there, man.
I got a couple more, too. This is. I just love these stories. It's just something so off the wall that it's nice to visit. This is Rick Fisher. He had investigated another sighting. Giant flying creature report 8 miles outside of Harrisburg. This sighting is believed to have taken place. This is 2008. The driver said that he was going about 35 miles an hour when a huge bird-like thing appeared from above the trees, came down, and seemed to hover above his vehicle. The witness made Rick aware that he's an active hunter and angler and had never seen anything like this before. I like how people like to make reference to, look, I know what I saw.
Right.
Because I do this and I do that. I just get a kick out of that. He stated the thing was huge, but wasn't sure that he could call it a bird. The shadow of the creature covered his entire truck, and he had a gun permit, and he had the weapon with him, so he stopped his truck and got out to get a better look at the creature, I guess. Whatever it was, it had now flown above the trees and was moving away. The witness watched many birds in the woods and said this thing kind of soared or glided without a flapping motion. And the witness admitted that he was quite scared during the observation and stressed how huge the creature was. And he stated it was prehistoric almost. And the witness went on to say that he knew what he saw and he didn't care if people called him crazy. This next one is really a juicy one. This one is crazy. All right, so this was another one. This is 2008, Washington County, Pennsylvania. The roadway where this took place is a 4-lane divided highway. And there was a grass median between the two lanes, different directions. The witness was traveling south. And as the man traveled down the road, his attention was drawn to what he thought was an aircraft moving over the trees. He soon noticed that the wings were moving, and the flying thing was moving in the direction of his car. So he pulled off the road and got out to get a better look. The winged thing passed over the car and behind the witness, about 100 feet overhead. At some point, this creature appeared to be gliding and getting lower, and it looked more like a giant bat than a bird. The witness could see no feathers, only short, dark gray or black hair on the body, and the wings appeared to be more like a membrane stretched over bone. It was difficult to see the details due to the sky being so bright. The witness commented that a small amount of light could be seen through the membrane. He had a really good look at this thing to see that. He emphasized that it was not solid, like a metal or something. And as the man watched, the creature dropped lower from the sky behind his car. Apparently, other motorists also caught sight of the huge flying animal. One car stopped down the road, and a person got out. And that driver had a camera with him, and he was seen taking pictures of the flying creature. As they watched, the creature glided down to no more than 20 feet above the roadway and was seen flapping its wings like once or twice. And with each wing flap, the creature appeared to rise about 20 feet higher off the road. That's some serious power. Since the creature was flying so low, its huge wingspan was very evident to the witness, and the man said that when the creature spread its wings, they extended beyond the edge of the pavement to the other side of the 2-lane road, and that would be 20 feet or more in length. The creature flew off towards the west and was lost from sight over the trees, and the man with the camera was seen running into the woods following the creature. The witness expressed that he was not going to stare around that location any longer and decided to leave. He was concerned that he'd be attacked. He commented that the flying creature was big enough that it could easily pick up a man. There were no sounds, no other effects reported as the creature moved over. The entire observation was estimated to have lasted about 45 seconds to 1 minute. Woo! That is amazing. I know that there's, people who describe seeing like werewolf-like people, and I've even had emails sent to me of watching people shapeshift into werewolf-like creatures. So it's like, is it really that much of a stretch that, somebody could perhaps shapeshift into something nasty looking that could fly too? I don't know.
I always said what we are now watching on TV, and because of the, like what you just said, True Blood comes into mind. True Blood, right off the bat. Shape-shifting into animals, all that. And I think, again, what you are now watching on TV and in movies, a lot of that is real, man.
Now,
it's real.
What was the one that the movies, and they did a whole bunch of them, and they're all werewolves? Twilight. Man, talk about shape-shifting. Man, everybody, and everybody was in love with him, too. Like, oh, look, he's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
He's got those blue wolf eyes.
Ew.
It's a big deal. People are all about that stuff now.
Yeah.
And, okay, you could go to the next picture, because I have a personal story to share.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do. Here it comes. So, this is the big white bird there. Okay. When I was a teenager, I was walking home with my sister. And I believe she was a teenager, too, at the time. Yeah, she was, yeah. And so we lived out in the country, and we'd always have to cross over this little bridge and this river. And while we're walking over, you're out in the country. You know what you see in the area, what's generally out there and what isn't. And looked over into the water only to see this extremely tall bird standing in the water, and the water had to be, I'm guessing in that spot, maybe at least 4 feet deep or so. And this bird was at least a foot or more still above the water, its legs. And me and my sister looking down like, what on earth is that? I was raised in Wisconsin. You don't see too many exotic-looking birds, and we're like right above it, and I'd say it was maybe 20 feet off from the bridge. And we're just like watching this thing, and we startled it, and it hopped up and started flying down the river, and its wingspan brushed both sides of the trees on either side of the river.
Wow.
We were like just dumbfounded, like, did we just see that? We had no idea what we were witnessing. It looked very much like this. This is the closest that I could get to what it was that I saw, but the beak was not like that. The beak looked more like a pelican beak that we saw, and was white, and its legs were orange. Its beak was orange, and this is a picture of the great egret, and it stands to be about 3.5 feet tall, and its wingspan is like 41 inches or something like that. The one that we saw, my goodness, I don't know. I'm guessing the wingspan had to be about 10 feet or more. It was humongous. And to be 4 feet of water, I don't know. This thing was really tall.
It sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Was it an egret?
I don't know. We were so amazed by it. We went home, told our parents, and my parents were like, well, call the zoo, see if a bird got loose. It's just like, huh? It was just the strangest thing, because we'd never seen anything like that. And now I've got an even stranger one for you. Okay. Again, living out in the country there, you know what you see and you know what you don't see. And I went to, my high school was right across the street out in the middle of nowhere in this country area of Wisconsin, Milwaukee County, close to Menominee Falls. And I come outside to go walking to my school, and I am not kidding you. I saw, you could go to the next picture, count them, two giant peacock-looking birds in Wisconsin. Okay. Well, there was an empty lot next to my family's home, and there was a low, small tree that was growing there, and one of them was standing on one of the branches, and the other one was on the ground next to it. And I'm standing there, I'm looking, and I'm like, I am seeing this. I am seeing this. I am really seeing this. I'm like, I mean, it scared me because they both turned their heads and they both looked at me and just stared and didn't move. Yeah. And I started backing up slowly to go get my sister to be like, there's peacocks in the neighbor's yard. It was an empty lot, and then there was a house. So that was next to there. Now, a peacock stands 5 feet tall, and the body is like 4.5 feet long or so, and they weigh about 13 pounds. I was pretty certain what I saw. When I went to go get my sister, come back, no trace of them, fully gone. And, when I shared the story, if you show the next one, people were telling me it could have been a wild pheasant, which is only like 21 to 36 inches and 3 pounds. Or like even the next image, they have wild turkeys over in Wisconsin, and they're about 3.8 feet long, and they weigh about 6 to 18.
So you're telling me there's no peacocks in Wisconsin then?
I am saying that the size of what I saw, 5 feet tall, is more accurate than these itty-bitty little birds that go running around Wisconsin. And, I know the people, back then I didn't know the connection to the paranormal. And I know that you guys have heard the stories of people who have been abducted, and they say, oh, my God, there was a lion, there was a deer in my room, or a peacock, or an owl, or something. And I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't abducted. I was, awake. It was broad daylight, looking at, 2 different sightings of very, very large birds. I don't know. Why were they there? I couldn't tell you. Just really, really bizarre stuff. But it's like, I thought it would be fun to share because.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, crazy.
I've had, like I said, my father, when he was younger and living in Sanger, he said he walked out the house and the tree, very large tree in front of, across the street, there was something in it, and the limbs on it just started shaking like big time, and he ran back inside, because he doesn't know to this day what it was, but it was very big.
Wow.
And so I don't know. Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, a lot of big birds, Mothman,
yeah.
Ellen.
Yeah, and it's like, it's something that's always puzzled me. It's like, what on earth did I see? I know what it looked like, but it just made no sense to me. But now I've got an interesting story that was sent to me that you guys will really, I really need your help on this one, because this one has me stumped. Okay. It says, Dear Heidi, I'll be honest, I've not read any of your books. It's not a requirement to write me, just so anybody knows. But after recent events, I plan to. I've seen things for many years, and yet it seems things are getting worse with certain types of entities recently, while others have faded away. I don't have many questions about all of these events, as I fear I may never find the answer. But do you have any theories about a possibility of creating a spirit? Not like it's just showing up or haunting, but the possibility of actually having created an entity somehow. He's gone now after a nightmare I had watching him get locked up, but I do still believe he was somehow my creation. Any theories at all? There's much more to this story, but I simply want any answer you have. And then I wrote him back and said, huh? What do you mean? And then they said, it felt like I ripped into 2, and then suddenly this new entity was there, like I had created it, and I felt no longer whole. It took a long time of fighting back against this thing until it almost seemed to accept me as its equal and communicate with me. The thing was me, but in some darker way, looked like me as well. Now I don't know where it's gone. Thank you, Blake. Now,
disappeared?
the first thing that came to my mind when I read this, did you guys see the movie An American Haunting?
I haven't.
What?
No.
Emily, I was
Come
thinking
on.
LSD. No, but that's what I was.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh my gosh, that movie is something that I have no answers for. An American Haunting was based on a young girl who was, she looked like she was demon possessed. Let's put it that way. She seemed to be demon possessed. She was being slapped around, lifted, thrown, and this was during, oh gosh, I have to look up, I want to say it was the 1800s or something. It's an old, even the President of the United States at the time knew of this haunting and had made comments about it. I'm going to try to find it.
So it's like it's a real story, and then they made a movie of it also?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is. I hate to spoil it, but, it so relates to what this guy's story is. Oh, let me see here. I'm trying to look up what year.
I noticed Emerald shaking her head yes. What do you think on that now?
Oh, 19th century. This was the 19th century, thing that happened. So this girl was seemingly possessed. Everybody was trying to help her. And then it came to light that she had been abused sexually. And her soul had divided itself and was picking her up and slapping her around and tossing her. It was the strangest thing. I don't know how to even categorize it. It is just, have you guys ever heard of such a thing?
Only like in the cartoons where they're like yelling in the mirror and then the mirror reaches out and goes whap,
Yeah, right?
I think it's a little different than the movie you were describing. I don't know how to really phrase it. It's like when you're in a bad place, you kind of divide, and you have the good and the bad, and you keep the bad away from the good, and it kind of creates this, like, not alter ego, but in your mind, it's like a totally different person, and you may not even realize you did it, and then all of a sudden these things are happening. Usually that stuff kind of goes away after the issue is resolved or you come to peace with the issue, but that's what I kind of get out of it. Or it just could have been like subconscious that they did it for some reason that they may not remember or they do remember.
That's interesting.
In the movie it was kind of like it was herself trying to remind herself of what took place. And I don't have a whole lot to go on with this guy's story, but it's such a, after, you guys have got to see the movie, and then we got to talk about it, because it is a crazy scenario, and I don't get it fully. I don't see how it's physically possible. I mean, not only was this entity haunting herself, but everybody else was being affected too. It was abusing everybody. So it was like, it wasn't just limited to her trying to wake herself up. So it's like when I hear this, that this person is seeing and feeling their darker self. I mean, it just makes me wonder. It's like, what on earth? I mean, was it a possession? I don't know.
I think there's two sides. I think there's an old Native American saying that we're like two wolves, and whichever one, well, how do you know which one wins? It's the one you feed the most.
Feed, yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. And when you're finally able to distinct between the two, you're able to control both. A lot of people now aren't able to tell the two. They don't even know there's another one there, type of thing. And I think that has a lot to do with it too, being able to bring that other side out subconsciously and not realizing what you're doing until it's messing with you.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
honestly,
interesting. Man,
it's fascinating stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's just a mind-blowing event to me, and I'm like, any theories? That's the best that I have, and I hope that this is helpful to Blake because and Emerald. It's like, ooh, that's a doozy. It's like I am just I don't know. I'm at a loss for that one, but it's interesting though. I don't even know how to say it. It's like I have seen so many odd things and experienced so many odd things. I'm happy to say that's not one of them.
Right.
Especially if
My
it's
goodness.
you, like, hey, who are you? And you get in a fight with yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly. I've got another story if you guys got time.
Yep. One more.
All right. Okay. So this one says, Dear Heidi, my name is Ray. I'm 38 years old and I live in L.A. My encounter with the Hat Man happened in 2004. A month before my encounter, I had an encounter with what I believe was a shadow person. I was asleep at night and woke up all of a sudden, sensing something in my room. As I noticed a shadow in the corner, it suddenly came towards me very fast and circled me and went straight out to the wall. I sat there confused. Exactly 1 month later, I awoke to a similar feeling, only this time it was more dark and heavy. I was also unable to move. I opened my eyes and was face to face with a man wearing what appeared to be a top hat. Ugh, it gives me chills every time. I felt a feeling of pure terror. I started screaming like someone was murdering me and pushed my way out of the paralysis. I saw a white light come from me and yelled, "Get out." Oh, now that gives me good goosebumps. The man started going backwards and flew out through the ceiling. I went to check on everyone else, and they were still asleep. I thought for sure they would have heard my scream, as it was very loud, but nobody heard a thing. I kept my encounter as a secret until a year ago when I was sleeping next to my partner. I woke up to the same feeling, but saw nothing. Then suddenly, my partner woke up and, staring at the doorway, started screaming. I held him and asked what was wrong. He told me that in the doorway he saw a man staring at us who was wearing a hat, and he felt like it was something very evil, but something was preventing him from entering our room. That's when I shared my story with him. After that, I started doing research and found many others have had encounters with this being. I noticed that others have also had strange dreams after their encounters. I've had many dreams since I was a teen. I would always have a recurring dream that there was a battle between good and evil. There was something like a chess game going on about it. Now I sleep with the light or TV on and sometimes feel like he still watches from afar, but for some reason cannot come into the room. I hope my encounter helps in some way. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Ray. Wow, that gave me goosebumps. A light came out of him and screamed, "Get out."
Huh.
That's
awesome.
interesting. That
It's
is
s-
interesting.
something evil there.
Yeah, and you know what? I always tell people, too, it's like there's no shame in keeping a light on, a TV on. So it does help to repel the negative. And so I always recommend, hey, go ahead. If I'm alone in a place, I'll keep a light on somewhere because I like to see what's coming at me.
Yeah.
That's
The,
just me. I don't know.
Especially after you watch Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
the girl
Yeah.
that we went up to the res with, she said she was experienced the Hat Man when
Oh, really?
all
What
the way
happened?
all the way from when she was a kid, and she was telling me she doesn't have feelings like neutral feelings for it, never scared her or anything like that. Maybe like when she was little, it kind of abused her a little bit, but then it went neutral, and she still sees it, and it was an interesting story.
That's funny. It seems like the people that have experienced him over a period of years, that they'll get kind of, or they just, I don't know, they tolerate it and they don't
Yeah.
have fear. It's comfortable. It's a familiar feeling, and even though he may have terrorized them at one point or scared them at one point, but he doesn't anymore because they've just got thicker skin for it. It doesn't mean he's your friend, though. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be fearful of him. So it's,
Well,
it's
now you're talking right there with Emerald.
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Not the same
How
thing.
is it not the same thing?
Not the same thing. There's a lot of people who see the whole Hat Man thing. I've never come across someone who's seen the same guy as my characteristics. And he doesn't wear a hat. So, and then he doesn't, I don't think the Hat Man turns into like this dog that has tar instead of fur. So I think they're two different things.
Wow, tar.
Wait.
Hellhounds have been seen next to Hat Man, and he doesn't always wear a hat.
Yeah, I don't, well, because mine's always seen in white. He's not a shadow, more.
Well, no, when you say white, you mean white hair or white
hair, white
up?
clothes, white guy. Everything's white.
I remember when you said you saw.
Yeah, there was a guy. Oh my gosh, it freaked the heck out of me. So, sorry, Heidi, don't want to cut you off.
No, I want to hear it, please.
So you guys know, like, I've had this guy thing or whatever he is with me for years now. And so I work at a dealership here in Fresno. I work at a car dealership. And we have people that come in and observe the dealership, like corporate stuff like that. So this guy walked in, and I'm in my office on the side, so I don't even know they're there. And I walk out to take something to the service manager, and I kind of just stopped. And I ran back in the office, and I text Jeff and Cheryl, and I was like, oh my God, there's a guy here that looks like Charles. And I was like freaking out. And they're like, take a picture. And I was like, well, I'm not going to walk out there and be like, can I take a picture of you?
Take a picture.
So I had one of the detail guys be like, here, take my phone, go try to get a picture of him, because I knew he would do it. And he got one, and I sent it to Jeff and Cheryl. And it just, the similarities were kind of like, oh my gosh, like it looked like almost dead on like him. It was kind of crazy.
Well, like a doppelganger, huh? Kind of like.
That Charlie challenge that's going on, and I have to say, Emerald, over the years I've received so many emails in regards to Batman and whatever different types of entities and aliens and everything. And the two names that always come up when it comes to the Hat Man is Charlie and Sam. And it's like, and now there's a Charlie challenge, where people are dabbling where they shouldn't be dabbling. It's horrific. But I mean, who is this Charles to you? What does he do for you? Why is he there?
Before it was bad. Like I have my thing where I think he's a demon, just because the transformations he does, just the way he was before. But it's not like, because my views on it, it's just because I see different things as like demons aren't always bad, angels aren't always good. We have kind of like that stereotype. They're kind of like people. You can't tell until you really get to know them. Now it's kind of more like a partnership thing where he's just there. It's kind of like a protection for me in some ways. It's comforting that he's there. It's not like it was before.
But he doesn't mess with you no more.
No,
right?
I mean, if I'm not paying attention, he'll throw a remote across the room and be like, hey, what are you doing? Hello? Like, I'm here.
Oh.
Type of thing.
That doesn't sound really friendly.
Oh, well, not at me. He'll just, like, toss it.
And like that. No, wasn't it where we were out? You were out there at that one house, and the girl saw it, wasn't? Didn't
she heard the growl.
The growl. Oh.
Because that's when he was still on his tarred wolf dog thing. Remember? Because he wouldn't come out for a while. He was still in that dog form.
Well,
you know he's a demon.
Yeah.
Why do you keep him around if you think it's a demon? Why do you do that?
If he's not
I personally think, Emerald, now we're going to get into this is your life. This is your life.
Sounds like a game show.
The word demon just spells evil. It's not that we're prejudging him.
No.
If he's not evil, he's an angel. But if you said demon, so he's
right.
evil.
I mean, you know exactly what he is.
Yeah.
I personally feel, because I've known you forever.
Since I was a little kid.
Yes. And I feel this, whatever is hanging around you, this Charles person, is causing you a lot of grief in your life. And you don't know it, but we all see it. And what I mean by that is just your social media, for example, Facebook. We see what you're going through, all right? We see the bad times that you are having. And I feel that if you got rid of this jackass, that I bet you a lot of that would clear up. And you're right now, you're looking at me and you're going, no. See, and I don't get that, Emerald.
Well, I'm not seeing the correlation between him, like some stuff. I mean, work. You get that in all your jobs.
Not real. Well, I mean, but not only work, but just sickness, for example.
Yeah,
you're always sick, okay? And I feel that is exactly draining you big time.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, what are your pros and cons? I know if he were to leave, I wouldn't be able to do what I do.
Do what? What do you mean?
The seeing and the hearing, the
oh,
communicating.
bull crap! I bet you still can do that.
No, I
bet you.
doubt it.
Well, let's get rid of him and find out.
No. I'd rather go through what I'm doing than have the possibility of getting rid of him, losing what I could do, and having him with somebody else.
Okay, but
I don't want another little kid to go through what I went through as a kid. I'd rather do it now because it's at a time where it's mellow. He's not doing the things he did before. Now, if he were to start over with somebody new, that would just repeat itself. Like I said, I've told you this before. I'd rather go through.
He was horrible when you were younger?
Yeah. Well, what had happened was when I was little, there was this boy in my dreams, and I didn't care about having to go to bed early because in my dreams we'd hang out and kind of grew up together. About 5th or 6th grade, this Charles, he comes in, kills the boy, and then I've been stuck with Charles since then. Around 8th grade, it got real bad, and then after that, it was more of going back and forth with him until I was able to get stronger and be like, well, F you type of thing. And that's when I fought back. And that's when I started getting stronger with my abilities and stuff like that. So it's more like it's...
So he became your pet dog, kinda.
Kinda.
So like the little boy was a spirit boy?
I don't know. He was, and I never saw him like I saw Charles. He was only in my dreams. Charles started out in my dreams, and then all of a sudden, I remember I was driving. I dropped off one of my brother's friends at his house, and I'm driving back home, and I turned to my passenger side because I wanted to switch lanes, and he's sitting in the freaking passenger seat. I had to pull over for like 30 minutes because I was freaking out.
I remember that.
You remember that?
You told me. You told me that. I remember that.
And then,
that would freak me out.
And then since then, like, I'm able to see him. I mean, he's interacted with people, not me. Like, I remember and I think I told you this one too. I was in a class, this was my freshman year at college, and we were in this English class. It was a fiction writing class, like descriptive writing, and we were in a circle and people were reading their essays. Well, one guy was reading this girl across the ring or the circle just kept talking and talking and talking, and I kind of stood up and I was like, hey guys, sorry, excuse me. And I told the teacher I apologize in advance, and I looked at her and I was like, can you shut the heck up? I was like, he's trying to read his essay and you're over here yapping. And she said something, she called me the B word, and I was like, all right dude, whatever. And then she stopped talking, he continued reading, and then all of a sudden, and it was hot, we had like our little like jackets type. It wasn't hot, but it's cold in the morning and then it gets hot in the evening. So this was like an evening class. And I see him walk behind her and I was like, oh great. And then he's just standing there, and all of a sudden...
You're talking Charles.
Yes. And then all of a sudden she grabs her jacket and throws it on. And I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, that room was warm. We all had our jackets from that morning. It was a warm room, and she was the only one, and she started shaking. And I was like, okay, that's enough. And I was like, oh, yeah.
You went and chilled her out, huh?
So,
like,
I mean, there's
chill out, girl.
things like that. So.
But you know what? I was slammed with, like, I was haunted most of my life, I want to say, by the most horrific things that you can imagine, and something that liked to take the form of my mother, who had passed when I was 7 years old. And this thing haunted myself, my siblings, for many years. I mean, from the age of 8 on up through, I mean, I can't even tell you, honestly, when it's last come by, because last year it attacked a friend of mine. Now, because I warned her, don't go there talking. She's a psychic who was looking into different things and tried to read me, and said, "Oh, your mother." I'm like, don't even respond. Don't even talk about the topic of my mother. I said, because something likes to come in the form of her that's a demon. And she's like, "Oh, your mother's not a demon." I'm like, I know she's not, but something likes to act like her and look like her, whatever. And it attacked her and her daughter that evening. So, you know, it's something that when I was able to, you know, get this darkness away from me, and you know, I've had dreams of different things, angels and, you know, psychic predictions, all that kind of stuff, and it's like, you know, I could see ghosts, and, you know, it was interesting, you know, but my ego wasn't to the point where it was like, oh, I'm powerful. You know, it was to the point of, you know, gosh, what can I do with this to help another person? And when I got rid of the darkness, I was able to see angels more. And I had Jesus encounters, and, you know, it changed, and it changed for the better. These dark things were clogging my view. They weren't helping me, and I wasn't trying to be friends with them. I couldn't stand ghosts. I couldn't stand these shadow beings. I couldn't stand these demonic things. And I had shadow cats always around me. you know, and it's like, so your guy takes the form of a demon dog, a hellhound, but it's still, if you got rid of, he's controlling your potential, and your potential could be so much bigger and better. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I agree.
But it's like, you know, it's just, oh my gosh, these negative things, they really, I didn't appreciate seeing ghosts and shadowy demon crap. You know, now I can see so much more. It's much clearer. It's
Like
awesome.
I remember
100
reading a
times better.
story like a long time ago before I met Heidi, and like I think the internet was just getting going, and Heidi had a website going, and there was, man, I think it was CAFTA, or I can't remember the name.
Oh, CAF. CAFTH, CAF, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are like in the car, and this thing is like jumping onto the car, and we're showing up in the car, and it's like I can't remember what color it was. It was vivid.
Sparkly see-through, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that was like the most amazing story I ever read. It was like, wow, you know, and it was alien even. And I consider those guys all the same. Alien, demons, all them guys, they're all like in the same world, or, you know, space. You know, it's just, and I think they know each other too. You know, and some of them might be the boss of some of them. You know, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's classes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The one that we had the most contact with spoke against the abducting alien beings, the reptilian beings, the gray beings, and actually spoke of God and said there's one God in this universe, and taught me that I needed to start repelling these shadowy things, and that's how I got rid of them and started doing what I do now. I mean, was through that contact that I had. I mean, I had a college roommate, and our shared space was inundated with shadow beings, and it was terrifying. There was the first encounter with the Hat Man probably ever on record, and I put it on my website, and that's what started the influx of people connecting that the Hat Man was a real phenomenon, shadow people were a real phenomenon. I mean, and then to have this alien come through and say, you need to clear your space of these things. You don't pray enough. I'm like, what? You know, an alien, so-called alien, you know, and learn to get rid of these things.
Wait. An alien told you that?
Told me how to get rid of shadow beings, and that is
okay.
That's how I've learned how to get rid of these guys.
But only it isn't like a regular alien,
No,
like what you're thinking.
I'm thinking gray.
No.
But you're not thinking gray. You're thinking a human-shaped type of alien from another dimension.
It was like a little cute reptilian.
What?
He admitted that people referred to them as being angels in the past. He didn't look reptilian. He was fleshy, pinky color, rounded features, big eyes. I have a picture on my website, HeidiHollis.com, a drawing of him, and it was through that contact that, you know, I was able to get rid of shadow people. I mean, it was crazy. And then we would have balls of light coming through the apartment and attack these things and clear them out.
Okay,
I mean,
so what do you think this alien? Now you're calling him an alien. How do you know it was an alien?
Because he said he was.
Yeah, but an alien. See, I mean, what if that alien is totally messing with you, and it's not an alien? It's totally, and it's telling you to get rid of these certain entities or devil or evils, whatever, so he can step in.
Well, you know what was interesting? It wasn't talking through me. It was talking through my college roommate, who was super religious Pentecostal, who didn't believe in any of this stuff. And this thing spoke through her. Our place was so horrifically darkened by shadow beings. It was horrible. Hat Man was standing in her room. I mean, every night she would scream herself to sleep. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Okay.
We were living in a nightmare.
Well, all right. Now, why? Now, you said she was very religious, right?
Extremely.
Now, were you at that time very religious?
Nope.
So you're the cause of all this, then? What the hell did you do when you were growing up, woman?
I was raised in a haunted house, and it just never seemed to leave my life. I mean, I had crazy stuff going on all the time. I thought I was haunted. I didn't know what to think of it and what was going on. I mean, everywhere I would go, I was seeing ghosts. Things were moving. It was horrible.
Well, what's blowing me away though is that this alien creature or the one who told you how to get rid of this evil spirit. I've never heard that. I don't even know how to respond to that. How do you respond to that? I mean, I'm looking at Ellen here, Mr. Religious person. Well, not religious, but you know, if an alien came to you and told you how to get rid of evil, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because Alan, you are always telling me that aliens are evil than the demons, and right. So how can an alien?
Yeah, but what if it's taking a form that?
Why would it take a form of an alien and scare you that way? Shouldn't it be like
it wasn't scaring him? He looks like a cartoon. I mean, it looks like a cute little cartoon guy. So maybe he took a shape that you would accept,
that
right,
he could recognize or accept. Okay.
I mean, it says that you will entertain angels unaware. You'll not know. In your lifetime, they'll come around and they'll come and ask you for favors and things like that. And then when you're on the other side, you passed from this life to the next life, then you're going to give an account of everything that you did in this life. They call it a life review. And then you're going to find out those were what they were, and that they were like a test. You know, and they come and say, hey, you know, give me something to eat, and you didn't, you know. Or give me, you know. I mean, it's an interesting thing to think about, but plus, I don't know everything. I mean, there's stuff I don't know still, and I'll be the first to admit that.
I hear you.
You know,
I'm always learning too. I'm open to anything, and you know, I had no reference point, really good one to go by at the time on what it was that I was witnessing. I mean, it was mind blowing. That book is called The Secret War. That's what I wrote the book based on what took place when this alien came into our lives, told us what shadow people were, what they were doing, how to get rid of them, and you know, here I was starting to lecture across the country and do all these big radio shows, and you know, everybody's like, huh? I've never heard of such a thing. Shadow people, you know, and you know, good aliens, and that makes no sense to me. And I'm like, I know, but it's like you can only, you know, doubt yourself for so long, and I couldn't sit on it. And you know what's interesting to me is like now that others are jumping on the bandwagon and investigating shadow people. You know, for the longest time, ghost hunters claimed shadow people to be their thing. And now people are like, oh my gosh, there's an alien element to shadow people. I'm like, yeah, I've said that from the start. Hello? You know, an alien told me about them and how to get rid of them. You know, it's like, and they're not of this earth, these shadow people. They are not of this earth.
I've even heard stories where they can, like the evil ones, the evil side can come as light beings and totally trick you, totally throw you off, and you're thinking you're seeing the good side, and because they were at one time the good side, so all they're doing is showing you their true what they looked like before, and they can totally fake you out. Totally.
They could. What was interesting in the experiences that I had with this being was him telling me I didn't pray enough.
That would be interesting.
And talking about God and how they have been called angels in the past and spoke of guardian angels and all of this stuff. And it caused me to have to reflect back on the faith that I was raised with and go, what's going on here? You know, I'm being taught by, you know, this makes no sense. I had turned my back on my faith, not my faith, my religion, because I believed in God, but I didn't believe in the ways that I was taught in the church to get okay with God.
Right.
And so I had a long ways back, and I had to turn full circle back to my heart and soul and my faith because of an alien showing me how to get rid of evil. and then angels coming.
I'm just
and
totally tripping out right now with that alien showing you how to get rid of it. I have never heard that ever, and
See,
that
now-
would be the last thing to come out that I would think to come out of your mouth.
You know what? Like it proves my point though that you never get it figured out. You know what I mean? Like
No.
we'll never ever figure it out. And a lot of like some of the hate mail we get and everything is people calling us out saying, "Oh, you think you're a expert," you know, and all this stuff. It's like, nope. I only know what I know, but that doesn't mean I know it all, you know. And I might know a little bit more than the other person, or I might not, you know. But all I do know is I like telling the story that I just brought up about this topic means I've been researching this a long time. Like that story went on the internet when, and I was reading it when it first came out, when you first put that up. That was like,
oh gosh, 99. I started putting the stuff out there, and the book came out in 2001 based on the encounters and everything. So it was really it's you know, I really wasn't I wasn't feeling ashamed about where I was coming from with this stuff, because before that book came out, I had my first encounter with Jesus, and he told me, first you need to finish your book, and don't be concerned about what others say. Know that I'll be there to give you the words. And I was finishing the Secret War book. It was done, but I had to re-edit it because I put in there how I was a skeptic of people claiming to have seen Jesus and their bowl of soup and everything. And here I have, you know, now I've got a book on Jesus. I've seen him 5 times now, you know, and it's mind blowing. So I had to change my whole tune and writing that, take out a whole chapter because I was, you know, poo-pooing people who claimed to have seen Jesus like he was around or something. So, you know, after I cleared out the darkness, these shadowy things, I mean, there's no way I could have done anything that I've done if I didn't have the Jesus encounters that I had, honestly, because I'm a therapist, I'm an occupational therapist, and a very difficult program in college, and I gave up grades in college, so I didn't have to do public speaking, but I felt that moved that this had to be done because he told me to finish my book, Jesus did, and said, don't worry, you know, what others say. I'll be there to give you the words. So it's like before I speak or do any radio shows, I'm always like pointing up to the sky. I'm like, you promised me you'd give me the words. Now I'm holding you to it, because this was not anything that I ever wanted to do. You know, I mean, I was very standoffish, very introverted, and you know, to do this now, it's just I would have put out the Secret War book and never probably spoke about it had I not had the Jesus
It would have been a
encounter.
secret.
It would have been a big secret, but I think there's definitely different levels and different angles that people go to understanding this phenomenon. And you know, I consider myself a Christian paranormal author. That's where I'm at, and you know, I would have never thought that would be where I'm at today. I mean, I was all about the paranormal. I'd had too many psychic things happen, and for the church to tell me that was evil, and I didn't feel evil, I knew that the church wasn't for me then. And to have to come back to it and be like, wow, that's the only thing that keeps away aliens and demons is the, you know, things I was taught in church. So I mean, it's amazing, and I'm happy I went through what I did, because I think a lot of people, especially when you're a young adult, you know, nobody leaves the club early so they can go to bed early to catch church in the morning. You know,
That's true. Yeah, but you
you're
know,
all
like
about your young life.
some of the most meanest people I ever met was in church. You know what I mean? Mean, nasty, revenge.
And they go to church because they think that they can be mean all day and all night, and they go to church and they repent and they go and do it again.
Right, yeah. They're only like the nicey for that 1 hour, and then the rest of the time you better cover your butt, because they'll be shooting at you.
I agree.
You know?
I know where you're going with that.
The meanest people online are the Christian groups. Remember the chat groups on AOL? Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Horrible.
they get to me on Facebook every once in a while, you know, like they're better than thou thing.
You're going to
It's like,
hell.
you know, yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I get it, you know. Especially when you start talking about, yeah, you know, I pray this way and that way, and then they want to attack you because your way isn't their way. You know, it's like, oh, okay, sorry. I'll pray you away next time. No,
Right. So, all right, Heidi. That
I
was
like to keep it real. That's
that
that's
was
just the way I am.
right on,
Approach
so.
it like any other topic with some humor and common sense. That's what I do with everything now.
there's no such thing as common sense anymore.
Nope.
In the world.
Not in this
Yeah.
field. Not in this
No.
field.
Yes. Well, I don't mean to judge the Emerald, but I hope that it was inspiring because a little bit. I mean, because I've been there. I've had things cloud my vision and thought that was all I could see until I got rid of that. And wow, I think that you're going to blow up and open when you clear Charles out of the room.
Yeah, she has a lot of gifts. I could tell too. You know, pretty gifted person, and
That's
intelligent. You know.
Oh yeah, I could tell.
We're having a
Yeah.
staring contest right now.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys. This
All
was
right.
fun as always.
Yeah, it's always great, huh?
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Heidi. Okay, we'll see you next week. Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Bye,
okay,
Heidi.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah, what a show, huh?
Interesting.
It was so fun so far.
Bigfoot. Now evil demons.
And even
Emerald.
And even nice nice aliens.
Okay, let's continue on. We got about 20 minutes left, 25 minutes left. This morning, actually, early this morning when I woke up, I was, I always get on Facebook right away to see what's been going on during the night and what I missed. And people were posting about Nibiru.
Ah,
And
I saw those pictures.
I remember several years ago, and I mean several years ago, that, you could go to Google Sky and there'll be certain areas up in space that are blocked out in black. Like if Google specifically did that for a reason, for you not to know what was in that area of space. And this morning I was reading that the people who have been researching Nibiru and locations and all that went to a particular spot in Google Sky and found that the black box have been removed, and lo and behold, there is a round object with wings on it, and there it is. And I'm going, whoa, are you kidding me? So I got the coordinates and I went on Google Sky and I went to the spot, and sure as hell, guys, Google removed it, and here it is. Actually, let me go to this picture here, and there it is.
How do they know to look in that? How what
Well,
made everybody go to that section of sky?
People have been looking in space and just going to Google, and that's all they do every day. Just go to Google Sky, and they look in different areas. There's a group called the Zeta Group, Z-E-T-A.
Oh, Zeta.
Zeta, and they have been tracking Nibiru for the longest time. I think back in the days that they actually found it, and then that's when Google Sky put a block on it.
Oh, okay. So they already knew the
location
section of sky,
right?
Oh,
and
all right. I get it.
So they've been monitoring the location and the whereabouts and all this, and all of a sudden it's open, and there you go. And I'm showing you guys right now. There it is. And what they are saying is that if you are in the northern hemisphere, which we are in the United States, that Nibiru can be seen at 4 o'clock from the sun, bottom right hand corner of the sun, which is 4 o'clock. And I find it kind of interesting that a lot of, nowadays you guys can go on on Facebook, and there are a lot of pictures on there that people think they have taken a photograph by accident of Nibiru. And most of them that I have seen are either at 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock of the sun. I've noticed that. And again, it depends on the in the hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, then it's going to be at 7 o'clock. Northern, it's going to 4 o'clock. Wow. It just now I'm going, okay, then those photographs that I've been seeing, are those actual photographs?
Yeah.
And are they the real thing? Because everybody's saying, no, those are lens flares or a sundog.
Right.
And trying to come up with a logical.
Some of them don't look like sundogs and lens flares.
Right.
I mean, they have a specific kind of look.
Right.
And I've seen the ones like, have you seen the pictures? I think it's the South Pole or something like that, and they have like a trailer out there, and they have a camera aiming at the trailer.
Yeah.
And there'll be a planet, right? First the moon will go by, right? And then this planet goes by. And I was thinking, man, is that it?
Okay, for all those who want to go and do this themselves, these are the snapshots that I took this morning. These are mine. These are not nobody else's. These are mine. Okay, I took these snapshots. I actually went and took these snapshots.
And I'm selling them $10, and Jeffrey will autograph them.
Everybody,
yeah.
I want you to get a pencil and paper right now, because I'm going to give you the coordinates of this so you can do it yourself. It's really simple. And matter of fact, there it is right there in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can bring it in even more.
I'm going to agree with you guys in chat real quick about the Bigfoot being maybe demonic. I'm going to agree with you there a little bit there. I'm not sure 100%, but only some things is kind of like, whoa. Okay.
Right? Okay, so there are the coordinates. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but it's at 5 hours, 42 minutes, and 21 seconds. And then on the right-hand side, it's 22 degrees, 36, 34, and 5. But that is just for it to be at this particular point here. This is what I did. I typed in, when you go to Google Sky with your mouse, you can start moving, the outer space, the actual, on the iPad or your computer, to start moving the galaxy or whatever this is. And you can see the numbers start moving on the left-hand side, like the 5 hours. Get to the 5 hour and 42 minutes, all right? Then when you're scrolling around, you can see the other numbers move in the direction to get you to those numbers. Like, so if you're at like 5 hours, 42 minutes, and 50 seconds on this side, then leave it there, then start moving it and move it horizontal. I think it is a vertical, and then 22 degrees will start moving. And if it's at 50, then move it one way. If it starts going down to like 40, then you're going in the right direction. And just keep on going until you get these numbers close to where you need to get to, and then you will see that winged planet.
And that's exactly what, in the pictures of the Egyptians and everything, I mean, that is exactly
so you're talking about like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So there it is, you guys. Now let's think about this. There's a lot of military action going on right now. Why would Google Sky right now all of a sudden allow us to view this? Now you guys have to understand that this is not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's on Google Sky. There it is. So let's think, did Google Sky specifically put that there to throw us off? Or is it the real deal? So now we have to figure out, is this the real deal?
Some cartoon they put on there to throw us off, or is it real?
Yeah. Did they put this up to keep us now focused on this and not on something else? Or is it the real deal and Google Sky was notified, all right, open it up. Let's start telling them what's going to be happening here pretty soon.
What if they opened it up and it's because they're not going to be able to hide it anymore?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're going to see it in the sky and people are going to go look for it and they're going to go, well, why has the government got a big black spot on it?
Right. There you go. Maybe you're right. Now it's coming into view of the human eye, and if you get a welder's helmet, welder's glasses, and you look at the sun at certain times. Now you guys remember, if those who have been watching this show, I've told you at early in the mornings or late in the afternoons here in California, they lay the chemtrails on certain days right above the horizon and at sunrise and sundown, like if they're trying to block something near the sun. I have been telling you that. And you guys have, I know you guys remember me saying that, 'cause I've said it many times.
Yeah, like for about a year now.
All right? Yeah, that I think chemtrails are there's several reasons they're, laying chemtrails, but one of the reasons is they're trying to block what I think is coming this way. And there it is. So, again, this is not a conspiracy anymore. All right, Google Sky has either taken the black away for you to visually see what's really there, or they placed this there to throw you off. So I don't know either way, but I'm not telling you right now, this is a real deal. Go to Google Sky and you will find it.
See, I wonder if you could figure out by Google Sky and, how it's like the way that where the Earth is in minutes and time and everything, and then where that is in minutes and time.
I'm sure
that you could go out with a good video camera
and probably get it, depending where you're at.
Because the video camera, you don't need a
lens.
lens.
Right.
It'll take it. Just don't look with your eyes.
Yeah, and that's one thing I am not good at, is figuring out all that minutes and seconds and latitude and longitude and location and time. I'm not good at that, but I'm sure there's going to people now are going to be out there doing exactly what you just said.
I hope so.
Now,
I want to hear from that. I want to hear from those guys.
Okay, so there you go, guys. This is not a conspiracy theory anymore. Conspiracy. This is a fact. Anybody out there can go to Google Sky and see this right now. All right. Now, Anunnaki. There's a lot of military movement. J-Helm is going on right now. They're all over the place. Is it because of this thing coming into our atmosphere and eventually it's going to get here? Is it the reason why we're having so much earthquakes? Volcanoes are going off? Is it because this thing's getting closer? It's interrupting the gravitational pull?
Melting the ice caps on Mars and Earth and making the sun
what if this thing gets any closer? And right now the solar flares are starting to erupt now on the sun. As a matter of fact, within the past 4 days, they're really off the hook. What if they're placing the military around because something is about to happen? What it could be, I don't know. But all this is now falling into place, you guys.
Right, yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
You know what's really strange about the whole thing? And I mean, I know a lot of people is going to probably poo-poo this, but if there's a book that actually writes all about this and all this stuff, and we're the ones that's melting the ice caps, and they're trying to blame everything on the people, and they want to starve us and kill us and all this stuff.
They're doing that so they can get money out of us.
Right.
I mean, that's.
But only all these people believe it. They
yeah,
believe
well,
anything
you guys stop listening to the media. All right, it's all bull crap.
Man, it really is.
So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff between now and September. I got a feeling something is going to happen that's going to blow people's mind. I think in September it's when it's supposed to happen. There's a lot of things happening in September.
The blood moon is going to happen.
And
the last blood moon.
And I believe, the Pope, and I said this before, the Pope is coming to America to talk with Congress, and I think it's about climate change.
Well, the Pope even came out recently and said he's ready to baptize aliens.
Okay,
so if Nibiru is coming in with aliens, the Pope's going to baptize them.
I believe
Weird.
I believe inside the Vatican had vault where they keep all of the.
They also have the best telescope in the whole world.
Yes, and I believe
it's called Lucifer.
Its abbreviation is Lucifer. So I think that, I believe in a higher power. Don't get me wrong, and I think you do too.
Oh yeah.
Emerald's giving me the evil eye over there.
She'll come around.
Yeah, she'll come around. I don't know, but I think within the next 3 or 4 months, it is going to get really interesting in the paranormal field, conspiracy field as well. You guys, we're in for some
a wild ride.
Wild ride. Is it the end of life as we know it? No, I don't think so. I think, though, that people who don't want to believe in the stuff that we talk about, I think your minds are now going to have to be changed because of what you guys are going to see happen.
I think they're going to be scrambling to catch up, though.
Yes.
'Cause it's going to be a really major shock to a lot of people. That they're all the Legos. That's
Yes.
The Legos are going to wake up.
Right,
man.
right.
You know, 'cause they're all buying their whatever and everything's awesome. Yeah.
And they don't. Yeah, they're keeping to themselves. They don't. Matter of fact, we were just watching. What were we watching on TV? And Cheryl, I know you're listening. What did we just watch? What?
Nothing.
That we watched some on TV about the American people don't need to know. They don't want to know.
Right. They don't want
They
to
don't
know.
want to know.
Right.
It's simple as that. And what was it? I don't remember. They don't want to know. We were just watching it. And it's constantly, it's what I hear on these movies and TV shows. The people don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know is Bigfoot real, because it's going to change my life as I know it will, as far as religion and monsters. And so if Bigfoot is real, what else is real? You're going to tell me aliens is real now?
Well, that's probably why they don't want people to know, because then people are going to go all crazy.
Well, and that's why maybe the military is being placed all over the place, because that's what's going to happen in a matter of 3 or 4 months. If this is going to come around, or something is going to happen, and it's going to blow people who go to church every Sunday, like my parents, are going to totally freak out and spaz out like among millions of other people. And they're going to say, well, then if there's aliens...
How come nobody told us? Well, you watched
Hello,
TV,
Mom and
didn't
Dad.
you?
I've been doing this for 7 years. How come we haven't seen a single show?
Well, they've been showing it. They've been telling it on every freaking cartoon.
Well, yeah,
you know.
media now is more based on, like, fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, stuff like that.
Man, we got like 10 minutes. There's something I wanted to touch on really quick.
Yeah, we do. What's up?
Remember when we talked about, or maybe we didn't talk about it, where there was Bigfoot sightings in like public parks and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I was doing a little bit of research on that to see if there was any other things happening like that, and there is.
What do you mean?
Like reports of helicopters coming in and landing, and soldiers in right after sightings of Bigfoot.
Okay, my buddy at work, I was, and I don't know if I told you this or not. Maybe I told Cheryl, but they were digging in a sidewalk box, and I drove up, and I think I did tell you. And we were talking about, they know what I do, and we were talking Bigfoot, and he said he was with his kids camping at not Bass Lake, not Shaver, Huntington Lake. And they were in the campground.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, 16 black SUVs come scrambling, and they get out, and in the back of the vest of these guys that are wearing black vests, they say tactical on it. And they instructed everybody in this campground to get out now. Okay? And right away, he goes, what the heck is going on? He knows that I've been telling him about Bigfoot in these locations. And I've been telling all you guys this, that I believe our government knows about Bigfoot, and they have teams on standby when a creature, a Bigfoot, comes into sightings in national parks. They fly in the Black Hawks and the military personnel, and they go to see if they can capture it or shoot it or kill it and get rid of it before it does whatever. Harms somebody, makes it aware, makes it come out in the open where people can see it, and then it's all over. So... yeah, I mean, I can see where you're going with this. Now,
well, I found other stories online, and videos where people talk about it, and it's only recently that there's not a lot of stories going back real far, but recently there's quite a few instances of people seeing helicopters and soldiers at Bigfoot sightings. And it was like,
Now, is this all over the United States or just California? Do you remember?
Everywhere. Anywhere where there's like really close contact of like people. It doesn't happen like way off where we were.
Right.
It happens like where Keith.
Sure.
Sure.
Well,
the one we're talking. The Keith.
And I believe how they are figuring out where these Bigfoots are at is that somebody sees a creature as soon as they get on their cell phone and say, I just saw a Bigfoot, beep, it all of a sudden registers on the computer, I just saw Bigfoot, and they zero in on the cell phone, and they send in their guys on a Black Hawk or SUVs and black SUVs, and they go in there and they take care of business. And I believe that like, for example, the movie Conspiracy Theories with Mel Gibson. When Mel Gibson, they were trying to find Mel Gibson, and they were monitoring all of the libraries. And as soon as somebody purchased a book of Catcher in the Rye,
Something like that.
right, and it registered on the computer that somebody at this library was bookstore was purchasing this book, and all of a sudden we got him. There he is. There's somebody purchasing this book. And they all of a sudden send in these guys in helicopters in the middle of the city. They come down and they get on motorcycles and they go and find them. That's what they're doing. They're monitoring our calls with certain names and certain words that they are, waiting for. Like, I just shot a Bigfoot. I seen a Bigfoot. I just saw a monster. I just saw a flying creature. I just saw a UFO. Something very hovering, very low, at the corner of Maple and Jensen or whatever, and all of a sudden you see these helicopters in the military.
You know what we should do?
What?
Go out into the woods, because we can't do this here because they would probably GPS on our phones.
Absolutely.
Go out into the woods and text somebody, I got a Bigfoot. Get out here and see how long it takes.
That's a good idea.
See, what happens. All of a
you know
sudden,
what we'd have to do is we would have to get 2 cell phones, not from ours.
Yeah.
We'd have to go buy 2 other cell phones, or go buy the one that you could purchase with Menace on them already.
Go phones.
Right. Go buy like a couple of those and do that. Say, hey,
that way they don't even know it's you.
Right.
Yeah, put some trail cams out there too. That way when we leave.
No, we'll just stick around and with cameras and the video crew, and all of a sudden they show up, and all of a sudden you see a Black Hawk circling you.
We'll make a fake camp. They're listening to us now.
I know. Now they already know. There goes our plan.
Yeah, well, I got a report yesterday from one of my friends that he saw a ship, but he thinks it was alive, and it was flying right over his backyard at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then went over his neighbor's yard. And it was the same night we were up there, and all the jets were flying all around.
Huh.
And I had a feeling something might be going on somewhere.
Right, there was a lot of jet activity.
And then all of a sudden it just died off, and it didn't happen again. It was just only for that evening whenever that thing was yelling, really.
Right. That's weird.
And a little bit after that.
Okay, we didn't hear any helicopters up there.
No, it was just jets, and they were all military.
Yeah, all military stuff.
Just interesting little things. There's no such thing as
Bigfoot
coincidence.
Yeah, coincidences. There's not in this field anymore. I've decided. Okay, this is what we're gonna do for next week. I hope I have enough time to say it. I want people now to go and find movies, films that you've seen in theaters and now have DVDs on your shelf that have something to do with possibly conspiracy theories or paranormal. And I mean, for example, let's say The Fifth Element, one of my all-time favorites, how the black planet or Planet X is coming towards, and it's going to basically hit Earth and kill everybody on Earth. I want people to find movies that have possibly hints in them about what we are talking about now. Does that make sense?
I saw one on Twilight Zone the other night. It was Richard Keel, and they gave him a cookbook, and it was to cook humans, right? But they didn't know that, and they started giving the people rides on their ship to go to their planet,
right?
And then by the time they figured out what the cookbook was,
right,
it was too late.
Right.
They're already getting on the ships and going, and
right,
the giants are like, "No, you're going," and they were like giant, but they didn't call them Anunnaki. But
right,
the Anunnaki are giants.
Right. So, okay, well, I think something's going to happen here pretty soon, guys. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys keep watching us. It's gonna get way exciting.
When
like
worlds
I said,
collide.
All right. Okay. Well, anyways, that's it for the show tonight. Hope you guys had a great time. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez with Alan Thomas and Emerald Bonilla with Danny Valderrama and Heidi Hollis, way far away in the boondocks. I want to thank you for showing up wherever you may be. Hope you guys come back next week. Thank you for showing up. Peace.
Thank you, Keith, at the DMRN.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and on ArtBell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. and we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
Abrupt, huh?